It's time now for the best high school sports action from the WBCB Sports Network. Catch the best games from Bucks and Mercer County at WBCBsports.com and our Facebook page. Your home for high school sports is right here at WBCB 1490.
From Harry E. Frank Stadium on the campus of Neshaminy High School, we welcome you to Suburban One League National Division Football on WBCB Sports. And a pleasant good evening to everyone. Alongside my broadcast partner, Rob Gilmore, I'm Jordan Hirsch here at Heartbreak Ridge, where the 4-1 Neshaminy Skins are looking for a season-long third straight win as they take on fellow 4-1 Central Bucks West. Neshaminy comes in fresh off their 48-6 clobbering of Abington, a game that was over by halftime thanks to the big right arm of quarterback Michael Eckert, who hit 4 different receivers en route to a career-high 5 touchdown passes, all of which came in the opening 24 minutes. The defense also played a pivotal role in busting the Galloping Ghosts as Carson Schneider and freshman Malachi Fox each came up with interceptions, and the unit as a whole held an opponent to under 7 points for the third time in 5 games this season. But now enter the CB West Bucks, one of the National Division's most dominant teams since realignment back in 2020. Including the playoffs, the Bucks have won 19 of their last 20 divisional contests and have taken the last 4 meetings with Neshaminy, including a 21-10 victory last season, which helped springboard them on a run to the District 1 semifinals. This year, they feature an extremely run-heavy offense with junior quarterback Louis Sapalo and junior running back Nick Mileto at the forefront. Rob, the Skins front 7 is certainly going to have their hands full here tonight.
Yes, they are. This is a very talented Central Bucks West offense. As you mentioned, that run game is a leap. And Neshaminy's defense has been up to the task so far this season. As you said, 3 times this season they held their opponent to single digits. They shut out their first 2 opponents of the season. The defensive line in particular has been excellent this year. They'll need more of that tonight.
And on offense, Michael Eckert and company were incredibly efficient last week against Abington. Easily Eckert's best game through the air of the season. Now that we've entered the second half of the 2025 campaign, how does this offense keep rolling?
Yeah, Michael Eckert's having a great season under center. And the run game has been excellent throughout the course of the season. There's such a good multifaceted offense. There were 7 different touchdown scorers last week for Neshaminy, including 1 on the defensive side with a pick 6. So they have multiple options. They can spread the ball around. They can run it. They can pass it. They can beat a defense in many different ways. And I'm sure we'll see more of that tonight.
Well, on top of this game being for first place in the SOL National Division, it's also homecoming here at Neshaminy. And we will have coverage of all those festivities and Central Bucks West getting set to take on Neshaminy. Homecoming ceremonies followed by kickoff are next here on WBCB.
Former Philly Tommy Green, and here's the pitch. It's time to fill up your pool. BCWSA offers easy and cost-effective bulk water delivery throughout Bucks County for $180. They will deliver 5,500 gallons of clean water right to your pool. It's a faster way to fill your pool, and you won't have the increased sewer bill by filling it yourself. And if you're on well water, you won't need to worry about the well drying up. Call BCWSA today at 800-222-2068, extension 113, and schedule water delivery or visit bcwsa.net.
When it comes to plumbing, there's only one trusted name for your home or business. That's Ben Franklin Plumbing of Levittown. Whether it's drains, water heaters, faucets, or sewers, Ben Franklin Plumbing of Levittown can solve all of your plumbing problems. Time-tested and punctual since 1984. It's Ben Franklin Plumbing of Levittown. Call them at 215-943-1776. That's 215-943-1776 for Ben Franklin Plumbing of Levittown, a proud supporter of high school athletics in Bucks County.
Next up is Andrew. He's a proud participant in gym night and a regular at the gym outside of school. Andrew's favorite teachers Shira and Mrs. Hall. He plans to attend college and major in finance and become an accountant. That is Valentina Epping and Andrew Enders in golf cart number 1. In golf cart number 2, Mia Stock and Connor Triano. And look out for Mia. She's a gym night captain for the red team and plays on the girls' varsity soccer and flag football teams. Off the field, Mia loves playing soccer, hanging out with friends and family, and playing pickleball. Her favorite teacher is Mr. Cleal. Mia plans on attending Lock Haven University to play Division II soccer and major in occupational therapy. Put your hands together for Connor. He's a proud gym night captain for the red team and a key player in the boys varsity basketball team. When he's not on the field, Connor loves golfing, playing pickleball, and spending time with friends. After graduation, he plans to attend a 4-year university. That is Mia Stock and Connor Triano in golf cart number 2. Coming up next in golf cart number 3, Lily Ellis and Jake Duckworth. Let's hear it for Lily. She's the lead copy editor of the school newspaper, The Playwickian, a gym night participant, and a member of the National Honor Society. Outside of school, Lily works at Heisen Books, loves playing soccer, and spending time with friends. Her favorite subject is English, and she plans to study journalism after high school. Make some noise now for Jacob. He's the lead photographer for the Playwickian and an active member of Gym Night. Jacob also competes in soccer, indoor and outdoor track, and lacrosse. Outside of school, he plays club soccer and capturing moments through photography. His favorite subject is history, and he plans to attend a 4-year university to major in international politics. That is golf cart number 3, Lily Ellis and Jake Duckworth. In golf cart number 4, Haley Chrisman and Noah Wallace. Let's hear it for Haley. She's active in Women in STEM Club, Gym Night, Honor Society, and the girls tennis team. When she's not at school, she spends time with family, going to concerts, baking, and yes, shopping. Her favorite subject is anatomy, and she plans to become a nurse, specifically a CRNA. Here comes Noah. He's not just a member of the National Honor Society, he's also a 3-year varsity starter and the captain of the boys varsity baseball team. When he's not leading his team, Noah loves watching sports. His favorite teacher is Mrs. Martis and Miss Puskis. And after high school, he's heading to Messiah University to play baseball while majoring in finance. That's Haley Chrisman and Noah Wallace, golf cart number 4. And in golf cart number 5, Samantha Orleski and Jackson Olszewski. Give it up for Sam. She's the president of the Drama Club, the soprano section leader for Select Choir, and the student director for High Voice Choir. Outside of school, Sam loves to dance and play guitar. Her favorite subjects are choir and drama. And after high school, she plans to major in musical theater. Let's also give a big cheer for Jackson. He wears a lot of hats at school. Gym night captain for the red team, yearbook president, class PR officer, and mini-con participant. Plus, he's the varsity lacrosse goalie. In his spare time, Jackson enjoys basketball, swimming, hanging out with friends, and being a proud Skins boy. After high school, he's deciding between Penn State and JMU to study business. That is Samantha Orleski and Jackson Olszewski in golf cart number 5. Ladies and gentlemen, that is your Neshaminy Homecoming Court 2025.
There you have it, Neshaminy's homecoming court here in 2025. Make sure you stay tuned at halftime as they announce homecoming king and queen, as well as a performance from the Neshaminy marching band as well. We are just moments away from kickoff between 4-1 Central Bucks West, as well as 4-1 Neshaminy. Looks like the Neshaminy choir is getting set to sing the national anthem. We'll step aside, and when we come back, we'll have opening kickoff between the Bucks and the Skins right after this on WBCB.
This is Tommy Green from the 1993 National League champion Phillies. Every champion needs a good game plan. BCWSA and I want to make sure you have a game plan when it comes to conserving our most precious resource, water. Whether you're washing dishes, brushing your teeth, or watering your garden, there are ways you can save water and save money. Visit bcwsa.net for tips on conserving water. BCWSA, proven.
Hi, I'm Sheriff Fred Herron. As your Bucks County Sheriff, it's my job to uphold the law and keep our community safe. That's what I've done every day for nearly 40 years in law enforcement. From the streets of Bensalem to the county courthouse, my focus has been on making our families feel secure in their homes, neighborhoods, and our schools. Safety requires proven leadership because in this office, experience is everything. This November, vote for our team so we can continue providing dependable leadership for our community. I'm your Sheriff, Fred Herron, and I approve this message.
Proceeding paid for by Herron for Sheriff.
Bucks County, this is home. It's where I was raised, where I learned right from wrong, where I'm raising my family, and where I've spent my life fighting for justice. I've taken on the toughest fights against murderers, traffickers, and child predators who believed they could prey upon the innocent and walk free. I've proven them wrong. I've stood toe-to-toe with the worst among us, delivered justice, and made our communities safer. Because in Bucks County, law and order are not up for debate. And as your district attorney, I will never stop fighting to protect our families and uphold justice. Justice isn't just my job, it's a solemn promise. A promise that every family can sleep safely at night, that no victim will ever be forgotten, and that in Bucks County, crime has consequences. Under my watch, the law is not a suggestion, it's an unbreakable pact. Justice will be swift, it'll be certain, and it'll be served. I'm Jennifer Shorn, and I will never stop fighting for Bucks County, our families, our safety, our home.
Kent's Tree Service, right here in Lower Bucks County, 23 years of expert tree service, emergencies, 24/7 service, is your trusted professional for any tree service needs that you have. Kent's Tree Service, many years of experience successfully providing tree services here in Lower Bucks County and even parts of Montgomery County. Their whole team provides the utmost care when working on your property and are experts you can trust for any tree removal, tree trimming, lot clearing, and so much more. Bonded and insured, you can be assured of professional results from their highly experienced service professionals. Kent's Tree Service, quality tree service, right here in Lower Bucks County. Call them today at 215-547-9744. That's 215-547-9744. Kent's Quality Tree Service. 23 years of expert tree service.
Your day-to-day life is hectic between having to pick up the kids, make dinner, the countless other tasks that you got to get done. Rob's Automotive and Collision is there to make your life a whole lot easier. Make sure you take advantage of their spacious waiting rooms, the large flat-screen TVs, complimentary coffee and muffins, and free Wi-Fi. So even when you do have to stop, Rob's is there to make you feel right at home. Give Rob's a call today at 215-826-9200 for any of your auto repair needs.
A proud supporter of Neshaminy Skins High School football on WBCB Sports is the N Club. Don't forget to visit the snack stand at the game tonight for some yummy treats and show your Neshaminy pride. Check out the Pride Wear tonight for all of your merchandise. And a special thank you to our sponsors: Chick-fil-A Neshaminy, Automotive Training Center, Bailey's Bar and Grill, Code 3 Records Artist Services, Fireside Inn, First National Bank of Newtown, Frank Ferry, JJKL Construction LLC, Patient First, Sandy's Beef and Ale, and Travel Services by Tiffany.
Hi, Merrill Reese reminding you to come back home to traditional Italian cuisine at the Revere Restaurant, 802 River Road in Ewing Township. You'll always feel welcome at the Revere. It's like stepping back in time where you'll feel like you're dining in South Philly or New York's Little Italy. Start your meal with complimentary Hoboken bread. Choose from a menu featuring fresh seafood dishes, succulent steaks and chops, or homemade pasta dishes. You can even eat at the bar. The Revere is open 7 days for lunch and dinner. Private room available for special affairs, plus catering. For reservations, call 609-882-6365. That's 609-882-6365. Come home to traditional Italian cuisine. The Revere Restaurant, 802 River Road, Ewing Township. Are you living with relentless pain? St. Mary has a new way to help. Knee and hip replacements with a smarter process for faster recovery, earning prestigious awards for quality and value. A rapid recovery program has you walking just hours after surgery, and breakthrough advances such as custom-fit joints position you for a longer pain-free life. 215-710-5888. St. Mary Orthopedics. It's your health. Expect more.
Rob's Automotive and Collision Center in Lower Bucks County is a full-service repair center with competitive prices, top-of-the-line products, and the finest auto body and mechanical repair technicians anywhere. Rob's makes repairing your car easy. Same-day service guaranteed. Whether it's an oil change, state inspection, or a mechanical issue, Rob's will have you in and out and on your way. 2700 Veterans Highway in Bristol, 215-826-9200 for 24-hour emergency towing. Call 215-826-0250. Sandy's Beef and Ale has been serving famous hand-carved roast beef sandwiches since 1967. Sandy's Beef and Ale is located in the Woodburn Square Shopping Center next to the Oxford Valley Mall. Stop in anytime for not only the roast beef sandwiches, but also the patty, the tailgater, and the Cuban. Family and friends have been coming to Sandy's Beef and Ale since 1967. 2028 Old Lincoln Highway, the home of the hand-carved sandwich.
Hey BCWSA customers, this is Tommy Green from the 1993 National League Champion Phillies. My friends at BCWSA are committed to providing us with safe, reliable water and sewer services. They operate state-of-the-art treatment facilities, provide clean drinking water, and make much-needed investments to protect our environment and ensure a sustainable future. Learn how BCWSA's investments help grow and serve our communities. Visit bcwsa.net. BCWSA, proven.
Don't let joint pain bring you down. See how you can get relief at a free joint pain seminar at St. Mary Orthopedics. Joint care experts will inform and answer questions about diagnosing, managing, and treating joint problems and knowing when it's time for a joint replacement. Ready to get back to life? Get to the next free joint pain seminar. Details at stmaryhealthcare.org/joint seminar. It's your health. Expect more.
There really is nothing like a home team advantage. That's why Team Toyota makes a great choice for your next vehicle purchase or service. With our MVP pricing guarantee, teammate rewards program, and streamlined customer experience, our award-winning operation ensures that you can trust our process. A home team advantage is nothing without the community. Our employees are part of our family, part of your town, and we're all part of the team. We're always here for you at one of our 3 locations in Princeton, Langhorne, and Glen Mills.
Former Philly Tommy Green, and here's the pitch. It's time to fill up your pool. BCWSA offers easy and cost-effective bulk water delivery throughout Bucks County for $180. They will deliver 5,500 gallons of clean water right to your pool. It's a faster way to fill your pool, and you won't have the increased sewer bill by filling it yourself. And if you're on well water, you won't need to worry about the well drying up. Call BCWSA today at 800-222-2068, extension 113, and schedule a water delivery, or visit bcwsa.net.
When it comes to plumbing, there's only one trusted name for your home or business. That's Ben Franklin Plumbing of Levittown. Whether it's drains, water heaters, faucets, or sewers, Ben Franklin Plumbing of Levittown can solve all of your plumbing problems. Time-tested and punctual since 1984. It's Ben Franklin Plumbing of Levittown. Call them at 215-943-1776. That's 215-943-1776 for Ben Franklin Plumbing of Levittown, a proud supporter of high school athletics in Bucks County.
This is Tommy Green from the 1993 National League champion Phillies. Every champion needs a good game plan. BCWSA and I want to make sure you have a game plan when it comes to conserving our most precious resource, water. Whether you're washing dishes, brushing your teeth, or watering your garden, there are ways you can save water and save money. Visit bcwsa.net for tips on conserving water. BCWSA, proven.
Today's game on WBCB is being brought to you by Team Toyota, the St. Mary Medical Center, Revere Restaurant, Jennifer Shorn for DA, 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning, Rob's Automotive and Collision, BCWSA, Fred Herron for Sheriff, the N Club, Sandy's Beef and Ale, Kent's Tree Services, the Trentonian, the Irish Rover Station House, and PIAA District 1. Neshaminy and Central Bucks West, a pair of 4-1 teams, both entering at 2-0 in Suburban 1 League National Division play. CB West, they won the toss and they said, we want the football. They elected to receive, so it will be Central Bucks West up first. CB West, they are winners of 4 consecutive games, fresh off of a 25-21 win at CB South last week. Trailed that game 21-10. And it was junior running back Nick Mileto punching in the go-ahead score with 3 minutes and 22 seconds left in that one. Got a feeling we're going to be calling his name a whole bunch tonight. This is a very run-heavy Central Bucks West squad. They've won 4 consecutive games after falling to Easton Area in their season opener. Easton Area, by the way, 5-0 entering this week. Nick Mileto, Shane McGuire, back deep to receive for Central Bucks West. Damian Castro set to boot it away for Neshaminy. The winner of this game remains in first place in the National Division, and off we go from Heartbreak Ridge. Shane McGuire fields it from his own 12 and starts up. He's across the middle, and the ball came out there at the end. And Neshaminy takes over. What a start for the Skins.
Could not ask for a better start for Neshaminy. Great job punching that ball out, falling on it, an opportunity to get ahead right off the bat.
So the Skins will start from CB West's 33. And in games like this, where the two teams are so evenly matched, oftentimes the turnover battle is what decides it. Skins would now start with the football. Michael Eckert, fresh off a 16-for-17 game last week against Abington, puts it in the chest of Carter Klee, who rumbles ahead and is spun down at the 30 by Nick Mileto. Neshaminy, fresh off that 48-6 win over Abington last week. Michael Eckert eclipsed 1,000 passing yards for the season. He's now at exactly 1,001. Through a career-high 5 touchdown passes, all in the first half. 2nd down and 7 from the 30. The motion man is Mike Sassano. Another handoff. Carter Klee dragged down from behind. There to bring him to the turf was the junior Liam Laffin, one of the captains on this CB West squad.
Yeah, Neshaminy's had a lot of success on offense so far this season, but tonight they're going up against the toughest defense they have faced yet at Central Bucks West. A very good defense, as it's been all throughout the season.
We've got a flag before the snap. And 3rd and 7, I believe, is going to become 3rd and 2. And there's the flag for encroachment. It's against Shane McGuire, the cornerback on the outside. Moves the ball up to the 25-yard line.
That's big because it makes third down that much more manageable.
Carter Cleese got the football on the first two plays from scrimmage for the Skins. This time Eckert, quarterback keeper, dives ahead and he's very close to the marker. Maybe about a half a yard short. And now checking in for this 4th and short play, Lucas Stewart, who was injured in the first game of the season against Emmaus. This is his first game back. Well, now after all of this for the Bucks, their defense has to be thinking we could get off the field here, keep this game scoreless after it's been a nightmarish start. Skins looking to take advantage of 4th and 1. Handoff, Carter Klee takes it right up the gut. He's got the first down. Carter Klee entered this game 81 carries for 532 yards. That's an average of 6.6 yards per carry this season and 4 touchdowns. Had 11 carries for 66 yards when these two teams matched up last year. 1st and 10. Eckert keeps, finds Lucas Stewart, the tight end. He takes it down the sideline, and Lucas Stewart, on his first touch since week 1, sets up the Skins in a goal-to-go scenario as a flag comes in late.
We'll see about that flag, but I love that play call right there. And Lucas Stewart, getting him back will be a huge addition for Neshaminy down the stretch and in the postseason.
Well, Lucas Stewart, he was ranked as the #1 returning tight end by Suburban1Insider.com before the season started. The flag is against Central Bucks West, and the Skins will be set up inside the 5 at the 3 with 1st and goal. Just over 2.5 minutes gone from Heartbreak Ridge. Skins looking to jump on top first. Carter Klee wrapped up and taken down in the backfield. Gavin Todd, the linebacker, got him around the ankles and dropped Klee for a loss.
Gavin Todd's had a big season for Central Bucks West, one of their stalwarts on the defensive side. Made a big play right there.
Had the game-sealing interception in the win against Central Bucks South last week. Eckert in the shotgun for 2nd down. He pulls, he keeps, and he scores. The Red Sea parts for Michael Eckert, and the Skins are on top at 6-0.
It's a great opening drive for Neshaminy. Granted, they had the short field, but they made the plays that they needed to make. Very effective on the ground game. And, of course, the big pass to Stewart to set them up. Always good to get off to a quick start in a game like this.
Steven Busek, the kicker, out to add the PAT. And the lefty knocks it through on a line drive, and the Skins go on top 7-0. 8:46 on the first quarter clock. And Rob, you couldn't ask for a much better start from the Skins. They force the fumble on the opening kickoff and then take it 33 yards and finish it off with 7.
Now, Jordan, they did everything right, from forcing the turnover, making the plays on offense, and going right down the field. And as I said, you need to get off to a quick start against a team like Central Bucks West. Central Bucks West, they're a very talented team, but they're the type of team that likes to run the ball a lot and play solid defense and win the game of ball control. So if you can take a lead on them, that's a big advantage early on.
Yeah, certainly an offense in Central Bucks West that likes to play from ahead with their ground and pound style. Their week 0 game against Easton area was really the only game that they've fallen behind and been behind pretty consistently. And they struggled to come back in that one. Last week they did fall behind and use the air attack to their advantage as Castro sends it away to the 20-yard line. And slipping out across the 30 goes one of the up men for CB West. Looked like it was Gavin Todd on that carry. In fact, no, it was Jimmy Cooker, the sophomore. And so now Central Bucks West, their offense out there for the first time, led by junior quarterback Louis Sapolo, who plays both sides of the football. Sapolo Also a defensive back, started as a defensive back last season. This is his first year under center. Last week, 12 carries, 159 yards, including an 80-yard TD run. Had a 57-yard passing touchdown in that game as well. He's run first, but he's certainly got an arm. And Central Bucks West will go to the air if they feel they need to. And we've got a whistle blowing this first play. Dead false start going against Central Bucks West, and their horrid start to this game continues.
Yeah, it's already 3 flags, twice on defense, and now on their first offensive snap.
Penalty is a false start. Goes against Central Bucks.
Gotta believe head coach Rob Rowan, none too pleased with the way his team has started this one. This game billed as an old-fashioned battle of the trenches. Both teams want to control the running game. First and 15, Jack Wilson, the motion man. Sapalo hands off to Nick Mileto, scurries his way through across the 35. Carson Schneider there to get him, and Mileto's out near the 40 to the 38.
And that's what they do, Jordan. Powerful running like that. Picks up a good chunky yardage there, makes the remaining downs here much more manageable.
Well, Mileto had 8 carries for 29 yards, that go-ahead touchdown run last week. A very physical back, the junior Mileto. He gets the football on 2nd down and 4, powers into the teeth of that Neshaminy defensive line. And a bunch of skins were there to meet him, including Milo Makes, as well as Liam Brittingham, the sophomore coming up from his linebacker spot. Neshaminy gets called for a sideline warning as well. It's now 3rd down and a long 1.
Go defense!
Sapalo, he's going to use his legs himself around the outside for the first down. Finally gets tripped out of bounds around midfield by Mike Sassano. There you go, Louis Sapalo. They're going to use that powerful run to the outside early and often in this game, Rob. That's one of the MOs of this CB West offense.
Yeah, that's the way that he can beat a defense, and also a great job by the left side of the Central Bucks West offensive line, just creating a huge lane for him to pick up the first down.
This offense, it'll look very similar to the Armed Forces schools at times tonight. 1st and 10 from midfield. The give is to Nick Mileto, and he's stacked up after a gain of about 1. So far, Central Bucks West, they've elected to run it over the left side of that offensive line. Left guard Giovanni Pellegrino and left tackle Santiago Bastello going up against this physical defensive line of Neshaminy. Owen Schwartz, Mark Ilkovic, Milo Makes as well, Corey Kenoy Webb on the defensive end. It's going to be on them tonight to slow down this rushing attack. 2nd and 9 in Neshaminy territory. Sapalo rolls, throws across his body, has a man but overshot him. In the area of the sophomore Ashton Stass. Stass, a guy who's used few and far between on the Central Bucks West offense. That's been a problem for Sapalo at times this year, Rob, overshooting open receivers on those deep balls.
Yeah, receiver had a step on the defensive back there and just a little bit too much on that throw.
6:21 on the first quarter clock. Neshaminy's defense with an opportunity to get off the field on 3rd down and 9. They give it to Owen Pudlow, the receiver, on the jet sweep, and he's going nowhere. Tackled after a short gain. That play call, it might have made you think that CB West was going to consider going for it here, kind of in no man's land. but Rob Rowan's going to trot the punting unit out, and a nice start for the Skins defense.
Yeah, I agree with his decision to punt here. You got a chance to pin the Neshaminy offense deep in their own territory. Had a good start for the Skins defense.
Nick Sassano back deep to receive for Neshaminy, standing at the 15-yard line. And the punt from Mason Darrows is fielded by Sassano right there at the 15, maybe the 16. And the Skins offense trots back out after a 33-yard successful first drive that was punctuated by a 5-yard TD run by Michael Eckert. For Eckert, that was already his 4th rushing touchdown of the season. Now has 19 total.
Well, they'll have a tougher challenge here, as this time they've got 84 yards ahead of them, unlike last time where they had only 33 yards to go to reach the end zone.
This drive starts 1st and 10 from their own 16 with an outside give to Carter Klee. Makes one man miss in the backfield, but not two. Gavin Todd got him to the turf. And Klee loses 3 on 1st down.
There's Gavin Todd again, another big stop for him.
Carter Klee, 14 carries, 101 yards and a TD last week. Second and long inside their own 15. Right back to Carter Klee it goes. And he's across the 15. He got the yards that he lost back and then maybe 1 extra. That'll bring up 3rd down and 9 for Nick Felis's offense.
It should be a passing down for Neshaminy. We'll see how they go about this.
See if they go to the air. Michael Eckert, he's been growing every week in this Neshaminy offense, getting better and better as the season has gone along. Eckert, a guy who's certainly gotten a lot more comfortable through the first 5 weeks. Play action. Eckert rolls, fires deep, has a man. That's Bobby Lagler. Lagler's across the 50. It's a foot race. Bobby Lagler's going to take it all the way for the touchdown. Wow. On 3rd and 9, Neshaminy hits CB West over the top for 6. And Lagler, from 83 yards out, has the Skins on top 13-0.
What a beautiful throw by Michael Eckert, catching his receiver in stride.
I think Lagler got flagged at the end there for unsportsmanlike conduct. He was pointing at the defender that was chasing him. Nonetheless, an 83-yard strike and a beautiful dime by Eckert throwing on the run like that. Not easy throwing across your body. You just saw Louis Sapalo, the CB West quarterback, miss on a very similar play on their last drive.
Yeah, and Jordan, I gotta say, between last season and this season, it is night and day how much better Eckert has gotten at throwing the football. That's a throw that probably he wouldn't have made last season, but he's made plenty of throws just like that this year, and that one perhaps the most impressive.
Steven Pusick drills it, and it's 14-zip Neshaminy. Still 4:03 to play in this first quarter. Yeah, to your point, Rob, that was the 16th touchdown pass of the season for Eckert here in game number 6. He had 9 touchdown throws all of last year. And how about Bobby Lagler? Had 2 catches last week for 2 scores, so now each of his last 3 receptions have ended in 6.
Yeah, he's been really impressive. He's kind of come out of nowhere, more or less, to be a big part of the Neshaminy offense. And that speed on the outside is a huge weapon. And they were able to use it to their advantage right there.
Bobby Lagler was on the coaches' roundtable on Wednesday. Chris Ermer does a fantastic job hosting that every single week, and he asked Lagler about his pregame routine, any music he likes to listen to. And Lagler gave sort of an interesting answer. You know, a lot of these guys, they like to listen to rap some different hype music to get themselves ready for these games. Flagler gave a different approach. He said he likes to listen to reggae. He likes to listen to, quote, chiller music before games. And that's because it's hard for him to remember some of the plays, I guess, if he's listening to typical hype music. A very cerebral player, a guy always looking to be one step ahead on the field, and he was multiple steps ahead of his defender on that touchdown.
Yes, he was. Had him beat by a mile.
By the way, the penalty against Flagler for the unsportsmanlike conduct, Rob Rowan elects to enforce it on the kickoff, which will now come from the 25-yard line for Damian Castro. Shane McGuire, Nick Mileto back deep to receive, standing at their own 25. And it's a good-looking end-over-end kick. Mileto's going to get a chance to return from the 24. Stumbles a bit, puts his shoulder down. He's across the 45. He's a physical runner not only on offense but on special teams as well. And it took Dan McGarity to get him to the turf.
Yeah, and that's big for Central Bucks West. They really needed to start with good field position on this drive. It's still very early, and they did come back from a big deficit last week, but they need to do something here to get themselves back into this football game.
Well, this drive will open from their own 48. See if CB West changes anything now that they're down 14. Still early on in the game, and Sapalo going to look for that quarterback power. He's got nowhere to go, and he's tripped up in the backfield. Mike Sassana with another big-time hit on this Neshaminy defense.
Sassana, one of the veteran leaders of this defense, making a big play right there.
CB West last season finished the year 10-3, fell to eventual District 1 champion Downingtown West in the semifinals of that tournament, 28-23. CB West has been quite dominant in Suburban 1 League play. They're 44-13 overall since the start of the 2021 season. They've 3 seasons of double-digit wins since 2019. And here on 2nd and 13, the give is to Mileto, and he's bottled up. For the second time today, Liam Brittingham, the sophomore, coming up from the linebacker spot to make another big-time tackle.
Yeah, just great job blowing that play up in the backfield. Brittingham amongst multiple Neshaminy defenders able to get in there.
Now 3rd and 13, and in a game that was billed as a battle of the trenches, Neshaminy's defensive line right now is certainly winning that and then some. Gavin Todd is the running back lined up to the right of Sapalo. Sapalo, little shovel pass ahead. He hits Todd with it, and he takes it close to the line to gain. He's going to be about a yard, maybe 2 yards short. They mark him down at the 45. That's favorable spot for Neshaminy. It's now 4th and 3. And it appears the offense is going to stay out there for the Bucks.
Yeah, I think Rob Rowan wants to give his team a little bit of a jolt right here. This will be a big conversion if they're able to pick this up. And on the other hand, it would be a great stop for Neshaminy.
We've seen Neshaminy already convert on a 4th down in this quarter. And we have movement. Who jumped first? Corey Kenoy-Webb seems very frustrated with himself on that Neshaminy defensive line. If it's against him, it'll be a 1st down. Both teams flinched, I'll say that. I think Neshaminy was a little bit more drastic, but CB West is backing up.
It does look like it's going to be a false start.
And there you go, false start. It's called against Ashton Stass. And now Rob Rowan has no choice but to bring the punting unit on.
You know what? I think that was something so subtle, nothing more than maybe a head nod from one of the offensive linemen.
Yeah, because you saw the entire Neshaminy defensive line jump, and typically that's a signal that they were drawn off sides. Mason Darrows is the punter. Nick Sassano is the return man. This one's way up in the air. Sassano calls fair catch and takes it right around the 12-yard line. Don't forget, if you miss any of today's action, you can read all about it in tomorrow's edition of the Trentonian. For your complete local and national news 7 days a week, it's the Trentonian, or online at trentonian.com. The only newspaper serving Bucks, Burlington, and Mercer County 7 days a week. It's the Trentonian. PIAA District 1 is looking for officials for all sports. If you're interested, visit PIAA.org for more information. Again, that's PIAA.org. Picture-perfect start for Neshaminy so far, D'ing it up, and their offense, by the way, has punched it in for 7 points on each of their first 2 drives. First play of drive number 3 is a pitch to Carter Klee. Lots of room over that right side, but it gets closed off quickly. Klee is out to the 18-yard line. And that's a pickup of 6 on first down. Heavy dose of Carter Klee so far, Rob.
Yeah, and he's been good. He's picked up yards in chunks when he's needed to. That was a pickup of about 6 or 7 on that carry right there. He hasn't broken a big run, but he really hasn't needed to.
On 2nd and 4, Eckert keeps it himself this time, takes on contact, and is able to muscle forward for that first down. He was met originally by Nick Mileto in the hole, a guy who, when he makes contact with you, you're going to feel it, and a good job of Eckert to just keep his momentum driving forward, and he's able to scooch his way out for that first.
Eckert, when he does keep the ball, a very tough runner, tough to bring down. Saw that right there.
1st and 10 from the 24. Eckert back to pass, but this play gets whistled dead. We've got a false start. I guess if you're searching for a problem area for the Skins last week, the penalty department was it. They committed 8 penalties in that game. A Neshaminy team that had kind of cleaned it up after their first 2 weeks, where they committed 21 in those first 2 games, ended up only committing 1 penalty the entire game against North Penn a couple of weeks ago. Something that Nick Felis has talked about at length. Neshaminy working on the penalties or lack thereof in the first in practice. As this first quarter comes to a close, it was dominated by the Skins. They're on top 14-0, 12 minutes down, 36 to go. Back from Heartbreak Ridge with quarter number 2 after this on WBCB.
Hi, I'm Sheriff Fred Herron. As your Bucks County Sheriff, it's my job to uphold the law and keep our community safe. That's what I've done every day for nearly 40 years in law enforcement. From the streets of Bensalem to the county courthouse, my focus has been on making our families feel secure in their homes, neighborhoods, and our schools. Safety requires proven leadership because in this office, experience is everything. This November, vote for our team so we can continue providing dependable leadership for our community. I'm your Sheriff, Fred Herron, and I approve this message.
Proceeding paid for by Herron for Sheriff.
Great food and good times always on the menu at the Irish Rover Station House, 1033 South Bellevue Avenue in Langhorne, opposite the SEPTA train station. Great place to go to watch all Philly sports and get some good eats as well. The Irish Rover Station House in Langhorne. Back here for the second quarter of action from Heartbreak Ridge. Neshaminy on top 14-0 after they played a near flawless first quarter. Started the game forcing a fumble on the opening kickoff. Michael Eckert would cap off that drive with a 5-yard touchdown run. And then drive number 2 ended in 7 thanks to an 83-yard TD strike to Bobby Lagler. Here it's 1st and 15 for Neshaminy from their own 19. Eckert, pressure. They set up the screen. That's Carter Klee. Races ahead. He's taken down at the 25. He wasn't too sure. And that goes for a gain of 7, maybe 6 on first down.
Yeah, just enough to make it past the original line of scrimmage. You know, 1st and 15, that's a good gain right there. Makes second down that much easier.
Michael Eckert last season against CB West. This is how you could tell Neshaminy was playing from behind most of the game. 20 of 35. 205 yards and a touchdown, that one. Here they pitch it And not much doing on that second down play. Brock Williams had the football, and he takes it back to the line of scrimmage and sets up 3rd and 9. Jeff Kappa in there to bring him down. That's senior defensive tackle Jeff Kappa, returning first-team All-SOL national pick from last year. Well, last time Neshaminy was in a 39, Eckert found Lagler, and the rest was history. What do they have in store right here? Eckert wants to go to the air, nothing open. Going deep for Brock Williams. Did he draw the flag? He did. Jack Wilson was the one in coverage. And that's a great job by Williams on that deep ball. It was underthrown, but he didn't give up on it. Tried to fight back for that football, and at that point, really nothing Wilson could have done as the defender.
Yeah, good job by him, just drawing the contact there. That's all you need to do to get the first down. And I like the aggressiveness shown by the Skins on these 3rd down plays so far tonight.
And another big penalty taken by CB West as well. We saw one on the first drive that made a 3rd and 7, a 3rd and 2. And now this one goes for 15 yards, and the Skins are set up now on their own 40. Drive that started way back on their 13. Fresh set of downs as Brock Williams goes in motion. And we've got more movement up front. Owen Schwartz is saying this one's against CB West. We'll see if the refs are convinced. Had quite our fair share of pre-snap penalties, and Owen Schwartz was correct in who this one's going against. The flags are really starting to pile up now for the Bucks.
Yeah, that's something that really hasn't been an issue for them throughout the course of the season. They haven't been a highly penalized team, so interesting that it's gone that way tonight.
Perhaps a little too hyped up coming here to Neshaminy with first place on the line. 1st and 5. Klee, wait a minute, we've got more laundry. Haven't seen a game like this really since the Council Rock North tilt back in August with this amount of flags being thrown. And this will be a false start against Neshaminy, and we're right back where we started.
Yeah, and it's not like it's ticky-tack calls either. It's a lot of false starts and offsides, a big pass interference call.
Back into a 1st and 10. Eckert, play action, has pressure, jump throw, and it's tipped around and incomplete. Well, that time, Jeff Kappa as well as Owen Pudlow were both right in the face of Eckert, and he was lucky to get that throwaway, and then perhaps even luckier that it wasn't intercepted. Kind of just threw it into a crowd of defensive linemen.
Got batted around a bit there. West with a chance to pick it off. Unfortunately for Neshaminy, not able to do so.
Just over a minute and a half gone, 2nd quarter. Glad you could join us here on a Friday night. Quick throw, Brock Williams, and delivering the boom is Shane McGuire. You can kind of see that one coming from a mile away. McGuire times that hit up perfectly, and it's a loss of 4.
That whole play right there kind of reminded me, if those of you Eagles fans might remember, Sheldon Brown's hit on Reggie Bush.
It pushes Neshaminy back into 3rd down and 14. Skins have had no problems in 3rd and long so far. A touchdown and then the pass interference that extended this drive. What do they got here? They need to get it to midfield. Eckert down the sideline, and miscommunication that time with Nick Sassano. The pass wasn't really catchable anyways. And for the first time tonight, the Skins punting unit will come onto the field.
And look from my vantage point here that that pass actually might have been tipped at the line of scrimmage.
Either way, it sailed out of bounds, and Sassano, nothing he could do. So with 9:38 to go here in quarter number 2, Tristan Rivera will send it away. Luis Sapalo, he does it all. Offense, defense, special teams. He's back to receive for CB West. Low snap, Rivera some trouble with it. Still gets a good boot away. Sapalo from the 26 starts up, has speed. Sapalo across midfield, and Rivera runs him out of bounds. Neshaminy, their fans wanted a holding call there. They're not going to get it, and more good field position now for CB West.
Yeah, good return right there. And actually, Neshaminy is lucky that that punt was not blocked, as West was not sending a rush on the punter there.
Certainly the luxury that CB West has, their quarterback with all kinds of speed. He's able to line up as the return man on those punts. And he was able to locate a hole in the punt coverage team. Took full advantage to the 42-yard line. Best starting field position of the night for the Bucks. Apollo hands it off this time to Nick Mileto, and he just runs into a wall of red as Carson Schneider drives him down.
Carson Schneider's had such a good season defensively for Neshaminy. Had an interception in last week's game, and he's been a difference maker game in and game out for them.
Came into this game the leading tackler with 35. Made his presence felt a few times tonight. 2nd and 8, pistol formation. The motion man is Jack Wilson. Sapalo takes a snap, rolls left, fires past, caught by Wilson. And he's able to fight ahead for a few more yards after contact to the 32. And the near side official says he has just enough to move the chains.
Tristan Rivera was there for the stop.
Mentioned it in the pregame, Central Bucks West and their dominance against the National Division. 19-1 in their last 20 games against National Division opponents. That includes the playoffs. As you go back to October of 2022. 1st and 10 from the 32. Handoff, it's Mileto. He's got space on the near side, stiff arms a man, and twirls forward to the 25, and then a flag comes in at the end there. Wonder if Mileto grabbed the face mask of Tristan Rivera. The refs are saying face mask. Who was grabbing who?
Looks like it might be defensive. Indeed it is.
And it's against Neshaminy. 15 extra yards tacked on to the end of that run. And for the first time tonight, Central Bucks West finds himself in the red zone. Set up at about the 12.5-yard line for 1st and 10. Well, the Bucks now with a prime chance to answer, trailing 14-0. Owen Pudlow goes in motion. And another whistle, and another flag, and another pre-snap penalty. And a false start against Central Bucks West.
Pretty shocking lack of discipline so far tonight for the Bucks. It's, as I said before, it hasn't been an issue for them this season. Maybe just a little too hyped up coming into this one.
Yeah, especially for a 4-1 team. A team that's won 4 consecutive games. It's, I mean, coming into a road environment, always tough. I can't say it's been super loud here outside of the touchdowns and some of the other big plays. The CB West, nobody to blame but themselves for some of these false starts. So now 1st and 15. Sapalo rolls. He's going to take off. Luis Sapalo looking for a seam. Instead, just jumps over Mike Sassano. And then 2 flags come in at the end. Very athletic play. Sapalo just hurdling Sassano that time. We'll see if it holds up. CB West is backing up. Another personal foul call. And it's for hurdling, so you guess. I guess you can't jump over here in high school, so Central Bucks West gonna back up 15 yards.
That's a new one. I haven't heard of that rule.
Too much athleticism on the part of Sapalo, and they're gonna back up 15 yards.
Then again, I don't think I've ever seen someone hurdle at the high school level.
But now from the 25, it's 1st and 23. CB West going the wrong way. Sapalo looking to change that. With a burst down the sideline, he will and more, and Sapalo takes it in for 6.
It's a big score for West to get back into this football game. They really needed that one.
Well, Louis Sapalo said, you know what? I don't have to jump over anybody this time. Said, you know what? You want to penalize me for being a little too athletic. I'll show you 6 points, and now it's a one-possession game. 25-yard touchdown run for Louis Sapalo. And out for the extra point, Mason Darrows. And guess what? We've got a flag.
Color me shocked.
And that color is yellow. The White Hat officials in conversation with Rob Rowan over on that Central Bucks West sideline. That could be an indication that it's against Neshaminy, and then CB West could elect to go for 2 here, and I think that's what it is. This try will now come from the 1.5-yard line, and the offense trots back out. All of a sudden, these pre-snap penalties really starting to hurt both sides.
This could actually end up working out for Neshaminy if they're able to get a stop here.
Gavin Todd and Nick Mileto back there. The give is to Todd, and he is in, and the 2-point conversion is successful. And so the penalty ends up costing Neshaminy an extra point. And the score is 14-8 with 6:43 to go till halftime.
That's big for Neshaminy in a game like this where you got 2 top 75 teams playing against each other. Every point matters.
Well, don't forget, if you missed any of today's action, you can read all about it in tomorrow's edition of the Trentonian. For your complete local and national news 7 days a week, it's the Trentonian, or online at Trentonian.com. The only newspaper serving Bucks, Burlington, and Mercer County 7 days a week. It's the Trentonian. The CB West, they needed an answer, and they got it. That drive was set up because of a decent return by Louis Sapalo, then was finished off with a 25-yard TD run by the CB West quarterback. As the Bucks take it 42 yards for the score on that drive. They cut the deficit more than in half. And now Neshaminy gets the football back. Mentioned Neshaminy, they've lost 4 consecutive games against CB West, being outscored 101-20 in that span. These two teams haven't played a whole lot of close affairs over the years. Mason Darrows, the junior kicker, ready to send this one away. Brock Williams, Nick Sassano, back to deep to receive. Sassano will get a chance to field this one, but instead he'll watch it fly over his head and into the blue painted end zone. It'll come out to the 20-yard line. And now, Rob, it'll be real interesting to see how Michael Eckert and company respond after their defense gave up points for the first time. Can Neshaminy recapture some momentum? Their last drive ended in a punt.
Well, they've had a lot of success moving the football whenever they've been out there. And this time they're tasked with stopping the momentum of Central Bucks West. So it would be huge for them to be able to go back down the field and put more points on the board before the half.
This drive begins 80 yards from pay dirt. Mike Sassano goes in motion. Eckert keeps being chased. Looking to get away, takes off, and is forced out of bounds after a short gain, as Nick Mileto just ran over one of the camera guys on that sideline.
That's actually a great job by Eckert to escape the pressure there and pick up positive yardage, making something out of nothing.
Carried it forward for a pickup of 2. And now 2nd down and 8. Again, Mike Sassano goes in motion. Man coverage is shown. Eckert dashes ahead, looking for a seam, and none opened up. Crunched down right around the 25-yard line there by Ryan Zadroga.
Still able to pick up about 3 yards on the carry.
Now 3rd and 5, CB West, their defense a chance to force this 3 and out after their offense punched it in for their first score of the game. They need the 30. Eckert stands in the pocket, delivers it for Lagler, and it was out of his reach.
Lagler had a step. Fortunately, the pass just a little bit too far ahead of him.
That was one of those plays, I think, where the timing just got thrown off, because you're right, Rob. Lagler had some space to work with, but Eckert just couldn't get it to him cleanly.
Well, Eckert was under some pressure. He had to get that throw off, and he was also on the move as well. Sometimes it's tough to make an accurate pass when you don't have your feet set.
Tristan Rivera will send it away. It's a line drive kick. This is going to check up right at midfield and then roll ahead to the 47, where it's down by Nick Sassano. And more good starting field position now for CB West. Although we'll see what this flag that sits back at the 29-yard line has to say about that.
I believe holding on the return.
That's what it is. Oh, they haven't moved the down marker yet from the 47. Now I think they're going to back it up. The holding was against Jeff Kappa, the senior. And so Central Bucks West will start 10 yards back from where they originally thought, on their own 37.
That's another big penalty right there. It goes from starting near midfield to starting, a little bit further into their own territory. Well, this is a big defensive possession for Neshaminy.
Sapalo on 1st and 10. He'll roll, he'll scan, he'll stop, and he'll fire. And it's brought down. Wow, what a catch. Jack Wilson. It was a 50-50 ball between him and Mike Sassano, and Wilson came down with the pigskin.
And not many people are able to beat Mike Sassano in a jump ball situation like that. So great job by Wilson, just getting good position and able to get up there and haul that one in, and a big gain for the Bucks.
That was a dangerous throw, too, by Sapalo, throwing it into tight coverage like that. Jack Wilson with his audition for You Got Mossed right there. All the way to the 24-yard line. And it's a 39-yard passing play. Sapalo keeps trying to get around the edge and does for a moment. And then he's ushered out of bounds by Tristan Rivera after a short gain on 1st.
Yeah, it's good containment right there by the Neshaminy defense, preventing him from getting the edge and picking up a big gain and knocking him out of bounds right at the line of scrimmage.
These two teams, Neshaminy and CB West, each entered in the top 4, entered this game in the top 4 in the Bucks County Courier-Times high school football rankings. Neshaminy tied for 3rd with Penridge, who is their next opponent. CB West was ranked 2nd. They say no gain, so 2nd and 10. Zapalo starts ahead, and he can't get out of the grasp of Corey Kenoy Webb. There to drop him for a loss as Kenoy Webb continues to have a stellar season on the edge.
Yeah, he's been awesome for this Neshaminy defense. Another big play. He's made a number of them throughout the season.
That's a loss of 2. And so for Corey Kenoy Webb this season, came into this game 12 tackles for loss. Nobody else on Neshaminy had more than 8 entering this contest. Lucas Stewart entered the season expecting to be one of the starters on the defensive end opposite Owen Schwartz, but he goes down with the injury, and Kenoy Webb has just taken claim to that starter spot. 3rd and 12. Empty backfield look. Pudlow comes in motion. They'll hand it off to him, who then reverses it back to Nick Mileto. Breaks a couple of tackles, and then Dan McGarity there to drive him backwards before he could carry it any further. Rob Rowan reaches into the bag of tricks. Neshaminy's defense was ready for it, and now kind of in this no man's land territory. It looks like CB West is going to opt to kick. Mason Darrows hit a 27-yard field goal at the end of the 2nd quarter last week. And before this field goal try, Nick Felis will burn his first time out. Don't forget, if you miss any of today's action, you could read all about it in tomorrow's edition of the Trentonian. For your complete local and national news 7 days a week, it's the Trentonian, or online at Trentonian.com. The only newspaper serving Bucks, Burlington, and Mercer County 7 days a week, it's the Trentonian. PIAA District 1 is looking for officials for all sports. If you are interested, visit PIAA.org for more information. Again, that's PIAA.org. If you're interested in becoming an official, PIAA District 1 wishes all student athletes the best of luck on the field and in the classroom this season. Back to action from Heartbreak Ridge, and the field goal unit still out there for CB West. This will be a 36-yard try. A chance to cut the deficit in half for the junior Mason Darrows. Good snap, good hold, line drive, kick, and it is good. Darrows with a fastball off his right foot, and it's 14-11. Oftentimes, Rob, from that position on the field, you'll see teams have to go for it, but a luxury for CB West having a kicker like Darrows. That would have been good from probably 45.
Yeah, Darrows has got a nice leg on him. We've seen it with the kickoffs and a couple of the punts that he's made, and that's something that we'll have to pay attention to because it could be a factor late in the game if this is, within 3 points down the stretch, or if they need some points to either put the game away or get closer. They've got a kicker that they can rely on.
So Neshaminy will be left with 2:48 to work with. On top, 14-11. A reminder, Neshaminy will get the ball to start the 3rd quarter. Remember, CB West won the toss. They elected to receive, and then ultimately fumbled on that opening kickoff. We saw Darrows force a touchback on his last kickoff. Nick Sassano back deep to receive for Neshaminy. Darrows sends it away. It's another good one. It's going to be fielded by Sassano from his 3. Looking to create something. Splits a pair, but not much afterwards. Good coverage that time by the special teams unit of CB West. And Neshaminy will begin this drive inside their own 20 at the 17.
Yeah, good job by the kick coverage team of West. They stayed in their lanes. They got down there quickly and just nowhere to go.
While we have a minute here, Rob, I'm going to present to you our trivia question.
Uh-oh.
And fans, you can respond to this trivia question by heading over to Instagram, WBCB_SN. Send us a DM with your answer for a chance to get shouted out later on tonight's broadcast. We're going to get to that question after this play. First and 10 from Neshaminy's own 17. Eckert, play action, throw to the outside. There's Mike Sassano with room to run. He's across the 30. He's got the first down. And so the trivia question, Rob, one of CB West's most famous alumni is singer and actress Pink. The trivia question tonight, what is Pink's real name?
Oh my goodness, I wouldn't be able to tell you off the top of my head.
Send us a DM to WBCB_SN on Instagram, a chance to get shouted out later tonight. We will reveal the answer in a bit. Handoff this time, Carter Klee dashes ahead, makes a couple defenders miss, and he's into Bucks territory. Stepped out of bounds at the 41-yard line as Carter Klee able to get into the second level for really the first time tonight.
That's a great run by Klee. First one that he's been able to break. And that gives Neshaminy a chance here with just over 2 minutes remaining before the half.
CB West continues to show man coverage. Michael Eckert continues to use his legs, stumbles forward across the 40, mark him down at the 37. That's a gain of 4. I'm impressed so far with the way Neshaminy has been able to just keep on going after contact. They picked up a lot of yards after the initial hit tonight.
Yeah, both Eckert and Carter Klee, known for their ability to break some tackles and do some tough running. They put that on display tonight.
Here's 2nd and 6 with Mike Sassano, the motion man. Handoff Klee, and that time he couldn't break the tackle. Owen Pudlow meets him off the edge and drops Klee at the line of scrimmage, and now 3rd and 6.
Clock ticking, just over a minute 10 to go before the half. We'll see if Neshaminy starts to hurry things up here.
Clock ticking down to 1:05. Neshaminy, 2 timeouts remaining. CB West has all 3. 3rd and 6. Eckert to the air, fires outside. Mike Sassano breaks the tackle. He's got a first down, and he's out near the red zone around the 20 as a flag flies late. And Sassano's a little slow to get up after this play as well. Owen Pudlow is saying it's against Neshaminy. It came from the far side official. And Neshaminy's starting to back up. It's a foul from the spot. And Neshaminy still has enough for the first at the 31-yard line. So they move the chains, but end up losing 10 yards. And now we've got whistles and a timeout. CB West will take their first with 51 seconds to play till halftime. I'll let you know, for good food and good times for the entire family, you can visit the Irish Rover Station House, 1033 South Bellevue Avenue in Langhorne. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Again, that's 1033 South Bellevue Avenue across from the SEPTA train station. Well, Rob, got to believe at halftime, both teams' head coaches going to have a very similar message. That's clean up the penalties and we'll be just fine, right?
Yeah, it's been an issue for both sides, more so for Central Bucks West, but Neshaminy's had a few big ones themselves. So they had, I believe, 8 penalties in last week's game, and I want to say 6 or 7 of them were very early in the game. So the second half, they played a very clean game, didn't get bitten by the penalties. And again, they're also up by 40-plus points for most of the second half. But kind of gotten into some bad habits again here in the first half. That's something that they definitely need to address if they want to put this game away in the second half.
Here we go, 1st and 10 from the 31. Eckert, play action. They want the screen. They've got the screen. Carter Klee races ahead. He's got a first down and more down the sideline, using the physicality to fight into the end zone for the touchdown. There is a flag on the near side of the field, and Mike Sassano doesn't seem too happy about it.
Oh, man.
This one might be coming back.
No,
well,
we
Rob,
were just talking about
Yeah,
it.
I was about to say, what did we just talk about, right? Both teams have had just crushing penalties, although this one's going to get picked up. The touchdown will stand, and what a run it was. It's another passing TD for Eckert, but Carter Klee basically did it all. And what a run. He was able to lower his shoulder into a couple of defenders, took on contact, and the Skins go on top 20-11. Steven Busek out to add the extra point. It's a high snap, but it's settled down, and Busek boots it through. Good job by Mike Sassano on that hold, and the lead is back to 10.
So just, Jordan, we just received an explanation that the referees thought maybe the pass was a illegal forward pass. Indeed, it was not.
Well, and as a result of them picking up that flag, Eckert now has 3 total touchdowns. And we don't have official stats, but he's well over 100 yards passing in this game. Now 2 big plays, the 83-yard touchdown to Bobby Lagler, and then that one goes for 31 to Carter Klee. It's the second time in 3 weeks we've seen Klee take a screen pass in for a touchdown.
And Jordan, that's a big one because that makes it a 2-score game going into the half, and Neshaminy gets the second half kickoff. That's a big momentum swing.
Well, still 40 seconds for CB West to work with, and they've got 2 timeouts and an offense that's proven they can get down the field in a hurry, and a special teams unit that's shown that they could set their offense up in favorable field position. CB West got to be thinking they've still got some time to put points up on the board as Castro sends an end-over-end kick. Shane will take it up the middle. He's got one man to beat now, being chased by Carson Schneider. Shane McGuire out across the 35, and there you go. Special teams makes a difference once again for CB West.
Yeah, and Shane McGuire with these returns really has been the most valuable player for Central Bucks West, keeping them in this football game. Again, great starting field position, and 30 seconds on the clock, 29.3 is plenty of time to get a few plays in and try to go down the field. And they've got a kicker who has proven that he can make the long kicks.
So still 29 seconds and 2 timeouts. And you gotta believe that CB West already on the fringes of field goal range. Louis Sapalo alone in the backfield. Takes a snap, has loads of time, zips it over the middle, incomplete. Intended target that time was Mason Darrows. Maybe a little too much time there for Sapalo. I mean, he had all day and just couldn't find anybody open. So good coverage that time by the Neshaminy secondary. Brings up 2nd down and 10 from the Neshaminy 33. CB West last week, a couple of big plays for touchdowns, 80-yard TD run by Sapalo, also connected with Owen Pudlow for a 57-yard touchdown through the air. It's an offense that could score points quickly. Sapalo with the little hitch move, throws it in, and it's intercepted. Mike Sassano now has room down the far sideline, and he'll just take it out of bounds. Not a great throw by Sapalo, and Mike Sassano taking full advantage all he had to do was usher that into his breadbasket.
That's huge because Central Bucks West just left 3 points, possibly more on the board right there. And it will remain, unless something crazy happens, a 2-score game going into the half.
Talked about the turnover battle at the beginning, right? These two teams so evenly matched. Oftentimes, that is what can decide it. And now Neshaminy is forced to. CB West hasn't had a turnover go their way. Neshaminy just 14 seconds left and 2 timeouts, operating from their own 37. The give goes to Carter Klee. He busts up the middle, and he's across the 45, and a nice run there, and that will not take us into half. Nick Felix calls timeout. He wants one more play.
And you know what? Michael Eckert has an arm on him. I think maybe they just chuck one into the end zone here.
I would be surprised if they were to try that with this 10-point lead. My gut tells me this will be a handoff to Klee and see if he could break it. That's the other part of it too, though, is you've got a big play ability with your running game.
Yeah, it really could go either way.
Well, the Neshaminy coordinators just came down from their perch on top of the press box, so they delivered the play and they said, you know what, we're going to get a head start into the locker room. And we'll see what that play that they dialed up is. And it looks like it's just going to be a kneel down. Let's fake it. Just interesting to call timeout and then take the quarterback kneel. That's what it is. And Neshaminy will go into the halftime locker room, leading this one 21-11. They outplayed Central Bucks West for most of that first half, but the Bucks were able to take advantage when they had opportunities presented to them. And that's why this isn't quite a blowout, as we're through 24 minutes of play here from Heartbreak Ridge. Do not go anywhere. When we come back, we've got a lot to get to. We've got our halftime show, we've got our performance from the Neshaminy Skins Marching Band, and we will crown our homecoming court here in 2025. All that on the other side of this break. Halftime, we're back after this here on WBCB.
Bucks County, this is home. It's where I was raised, where I learned right from wrong, where I'm raising my family, and where I've spent my life fighting for justice. I've taken on the toughest fights against murderers, traffickers, and child predators who believe they could prey upon the innocent and walk free. I've proven them wrong. I've stood toe-to-toe with the worst among us, delivered justice, and made our communities safer. Because in Bucks County, law and order are not up for debate. And as your district attorney, I will never stop fighting to protect our families and uphold justice. Justice isn't just my job, it's a solemn promise. A promise that every family can sleep safely at night, that no victim will ever be forgotten, and that in Bucks County, crime has consequences. Under my watch, the law is not a suggestion, it's an unbreakable pact. Justice will be swift, it'll be certain, and it'll be served. I'm Jennifer Shorn, and I will never stop fighting for Bucks County, our families, our safety, our home.
Apparently we don't need to worry about that word anymore because home run just broke it up.
Oh, really? Yeah, it's right in the
Yeah, perfect game, John.
The design team includes Michael W. Dennis, Dan Richardson, Caitlin Scallon, Joel Reed, and Tyler Cody. The marching band will be kept busy this fall with performances at the Neshaminy football games, as well as participating in a full schedule of marching band competitions as we join the U.S. band circuit throughout the fall season. We will host our own 32nd annual Kaleidoscope Band Show on Saturday, October 18th. Section leaders are Madison Sweeter, Jenna Smith, Brandy Jones, Andrew Perolo, Elias Miles, Zamira Coppola-Miller, Jack Kidd, Gabriel Lubowski, Abby Colbert, Latika Jizek, Abby Clark, Zaira Coppola-Miller, and Kara McMullen. The marching band officers are Jenna Smith, Zamira Coppola-Miller, Madison Sweeter, Brandy Jones, Corinne Bassman, Aubrey Margaret, and Amelia Cunningham. In our 2025 production, I Matter explores the states of matter, solids, liquids, and gas, and how they relate to the human condition. The show begins with an originally composed introduction featuring flute soloist Addison Velez and the saxophone section. The introduction gives a visual overview of the different states of matter. In part 1, we dive into the solid state of matter. Earth by Imogen Heap was arranged for this movement. Solid presents itself as fluid, a foundation stable and generated in sizing. With solid, we connect our human condition to the idea of being a fully realized person, not only strong physically, but also strong mentally. We express confidence, trust, and a strong will to do whatever we set our minds to. As we transition to liquid, we demonstrate the smooth, flowing, and flexible nature of the states of matter. We perform a medley of 3 pieces, Hooped and Wed by Julie Giroux, Little Blue by Jacob Collier, and Ocean Eyes performed by Brie Eilish. Through these arrangements, the performers will showcase the emotional nature of being human, how emotions can come and go, and demonstrate an understanding and acceptance of our emotions for what they are. Drum majors, is the band ready?
Good.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Neshaminy High School Marching Band.
Everything we are, everything we become, starts with a simple truth. We matter. From the core of our being, to the ways we move through this world, we exist in different states. but strength also flows. Liquid, ever-changing, always moving. It curves and bends, adapting, reshaping, healing. Like water, we shift with emotion. Smooth, expressive, real. Joy, sadness, love, doubt. They pour from us and shape who we are. And in these waves, we learn to accept, to understand, to feel. Liquid is not weakness. It is the power of vulnerability, the beauty of change. I am emotion. I am liquid.
Oh, nice.
It's a drive. It's all the way up by
Just looking at it.
ESPN Plus. I didn't know you were working with them. I got a couple games for that. I got a soccer game and I'm doing I got to get his support. Lafayette against the Americans.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Neshaminy High School Marching Band. In our final movement, New York Sport Gas is a free state of matter. We hope to see you at one of our competitions or at our home show. Have a great rest of your night.
When you want to come back, they're going to do one concert, so.
There really is nothing like a home team advantage. That's why Team Toyota makes a great choice for your next vehicle purchase or service. With our MVP pricing guarantee, teammate rewards program, and streamlined customer experience, our award-winning operation ensures that you can trust our process. A home team advantage is nothing without the community. Our employees are part of our family, part of your town, and we're all part of the team. We're always here for you at one of our 3 locations in Princeton, Langhorne, and Glen Mills.
A proud supporter of Neshaminy Skins High School football on WBCB Sports is the N Club. Don't forget to visit the snack stand at the game tonight for some yummy treats and show your Neshaminy pride. Check out the Pride Wear tonight for all of your merchandise. And a special thank you to our sponsors: Chick-fil-A Neshaminy, Automotive Training Center, Bailey's Bar and Grill, Code 3 Records Artist Services, Fireside Inn, First National Bank of Newtown, Frank Ferry, JJKL Construction LLC, Patient First, Sandy's Beef and Ale, and Travel Services by Tiffany.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the 2025 Neshaminy High School Homecoming Court. Valentina Effing and Andrew Enders. Mia Stock and Connor Triano. Lily Ellis and Jake Duckworth. Haley Christman and Noah Wallace. Samantha Orleski and Jackson Olszewski. Now, time to crown the 2025 Homecoming King and Queen. Congratulations to Samantha Wareski and Jackson Olszewski, our 2025 Homecoming King and Queen.
They didn't have any more pizza, so I got more nuggets.
Hi, Earl Reese reminding you to come back home to traditional Italian cuisine at the Revere Restaurant, 802 River Road in Ewing Township. You'll always feel welcome at the Revere. It's like stepping back in time where you'll feel like you're dining in South Philly or New York's Little Italy. Start your meal with complimentary Hoboken bread. Choose from a menu featuring fresh seafood dishes, succulent steaks and chops, or homemade pasta dishes. You can even eat at the bar. The Revere is open 7 days for lunch and dinner. Private room available for special affairs, plus catering. For reservations, call 609-882-6365. That's 609-882-6365. Come home to traditional Italian cuisine. The Revere Restaurant, 802 River Road, Ewing Township. Are you living with relentless pain? St. Mary has a new way to help. Knee and hip replacements with a smarter process for faster recovery, earning prestigious awards for quality and value. A rapid recovery program has you walking just hours after surgery, and breakthrough advances such as custom-fit joints position you for a longer pain-free life. 215-710-5888. St. Mary Orthopedics. It's your health. Expect more.
Rob's Automotive and Collision Center in Lower Bucks County is a full-service repair center with competitive prices, top-of-the-line products, and the finest auto body and mechanical repair technicians anywhere. Rob's makes repairing your car easy. Same-day service guaranteed. Whether it's an oil change, state inspection, or a mechanical issue, Rob's will have you in and out and on your way. 2700 Veterans Highway in Bristol, 215-826-9200 for 24-hour emergency towing. Call 215-826-0250. Sandy's Beef and Ale has been serving famous hand-carved roast beef sandwiches since 1967. Sandy's Beef and Ale is located in the Woodburn Square Shopping Center next to the Oxford Valley Mall. Stop in anytime for not only the roast beef sandwiches, but also the patty, the tailgater, and the Cuban. Family and friends have been coming to Sandy's Beef and Ale since 1967. 2028 Old Lincoln Highway, the home of the hand-carved sandwich.
Hey BCWSA customers, this is Tommy Green from the 1993 National League champion Phillies. My friends at BCWSA are committed to providing us with safe, reliable water and sewer services. They operate state-of-the-art treatment facilities, provide clean drinking water, and make much-needed investments to protect our environment and ensure a sustainable future. Learn how BCWSA's investments help grow and serve our communities. Visit bcwsa.net. BCWSA, prove it.
Don't let joint pain bring you down. See how you can get relief at a free joint pain seminar at St. Mary Orthopedics. Joint care experts will inform and answer questions about diagnosing, managing, and treating joint problems and knowing when it's time for a joint replacement. Ready to get back to life? Get to the next free joint pain seminar. Details at stmaryhealthcare.org/joint seminar. It's your health. Expect more. 1490 WBCB Levittown and Trenton, and video stream live at WBCBsports.com. Your home for the best local sports in Bucks and Mercer counties.
Here's the pitch. It's time to fill up your pool. BCWSA offers easy and cost-effective bulk water delivery throughout Bucks County for $180. They will deliver 5,500 gallons of clean water right to your pool. It's a faster way to fill your pool, and you won't have the increased sewer bill by filling it yourself. And if you're on well water, you won't need to worry about the well drying up. Call BCWSA today at 800-222-2068, extension 113, and schedule a water delivery, or visit bcwsa.net.
When it comes to plumbing, there's only one trusted name for your home or business. That's Ben Franklin Plumbing of Levittown. Whether it's drains, water heaters, faucets, or sewers, Ben Franklin Plumbing of Levittown can solve all of your plumbing problems. Time-tested and punctual since 1984. It's Ben Franklin Plumbing of Levittown. Call them at 215-943-1776. That's 215-943-1776 for Ben Franklin Plumbing of Levittown, a proud supporter of high school athletics in Bucks County.
Back here from Heartbreak Ridge, a fantastic performance by the Neshaminy Skins marching band, and then had our homecoming king and queen announced just a few short moments ago. And the Skins, they've retaken the field, still awaiting the return of the CB West Bucks. And Rob, all in all, a nice first half there for Neshaminy. They go on top 21-11 going into the break. Held a 14-0 lead. CB West cut that down to 3, but a big touchdown there at the end of the half. Carter Klee on the receiving end of a 31-yard screen pass, and then he did the rest. I would say, all in all, Neshaminy's got to be pretty pleased with where they're at right now.
Yeah, Jordan, a really effective first half, especially on the offensive side of the ball. They've had success moving the football. They've had success in the air. The 83-yard touchdown pass on 3rd and long, that was a big one. The running game has looked good. And the big thing for them has been forcing the turnovers. They had an interception towards the end of the half that killed a potential scoring drive for Central Bucks West, and also that big fumble recovery on the opening kickoff that set up the first touchdown. That's really been the difference in this game. And also, both teams have been undisciplined, but all the penalties on Central Bucks West, I lost count of how many they've had so far. That's been a big factor as well. We'll see if that changes as we get into the second half.
Yeah, Neshaminy, got to believe, really for both teams, cleaning up the penalties. Both teams committed a lot there in that first half, and you got to believe that was a focal point of both of these coaches' halftime speeches. I mean, for Neshaminy, Nick Felis, right? He's probably looking at it as we're up by 10, but we could be up by a whole lot more. And then on the other side, Rob Rowan for CB West, his message was probably just, hey, we're down by 10, but if we stop shooting ourselves in the foot with all these pre-snap penalties, that's how we're going to be able to get back into this game. Just want to get your quick thoughts on what you like to see out of both sides in the second half.
Well, for both sides, we just talked about it. I'd like to see them clean it up with the penalties, play a more clean, more crisp second half. The pre-snap penalties, especially against Central Bucks West, have been an absolute killer for them. So I'd like to see that get cleaned up a little bit. Other than that, I think we've seen a pretty good game. Both teams have shown their strength offensively. Both teams have shown what they're capable of, and I think we're in for a very entertaining second half. Now, what's important here is that Neshaminy is getting the second half kickoff, so they have the chance here to go up by possibly 3 scores, or at least, 3 scores. It would be 21-18 or 28-11, excuse me, if they're able to punch it into the end zone. That would be a huge shift in momentum for them.
Also want to give a quick shout out here before we get the second half underway. I posed our trivia question at the end of that second quarter. For Central Bucks West, one of their most famous alumni is singer and actress Pink, and I posed the question of what Pink's real name is. And Rob, I want to give you a chance first. Do you know the answer?
I still have no clue. The only thing I know about Pink, and no offense to her, is that she sang the national anthem before the Eagles won their first Super Bowl.
There you go. That's a good Pink reference, a good Pink tidbit of information right there. Well, fortunately for you, Rob, both Bob Scheid and Marilyn Carlisle they both responded with the correct answer on our Instagram. You can go follow at WBCB_SN. Alicia Beth Moore is Pink's real name. The more you know. And the Neshaminy, they've finished up their stretches. They're waiting over on the sideline. CB West returned to the field about a minute and a half after the Skins. So they're still back in their huddle. The Neshaminy on top, 21-11. And you're right, Rob, that you talked about there during the halftime show. Perhaps the biggest thing here coming into the second half is the fact that Neshaminy, they receive the second half kickoff, and essentially they're going to get to receive both kickoffs in this game. CB West won the toss, elected to receive. They said, we want the football. We want to try to go out there and make some plays and take the lead early, putting Neshaminy back on their heels. Well, that certainly backfired for them as they fumbled the opening kickoff, and Neshaminy then took it 33 yards on the ensuing drive. Michael Eckert, a 5-yard touchdown run there. Also has a pair of deep touchdown passes. The one deep ball to Bobby Lagler, 83 yards for the second TD. And then Carter Klee did most of the work on Neshaminy's third touchdown of the game, 31 yards on a screen pass. It was a real physical run for Klee. CB West, their scoring came via a 25-yard touchdown run by quarterback Louis Sapalo, and then a 36-yard field goal by kicker Mason Darrows. And Darrows has the ball on the tee at the 40-yard line. Second half of action from Heartbreak Ridge, about set to get underway. Neshaminy looking for their third consecutive win, looking to beat CB West for the first time since the 2020 season. Winner of this game remains in first place, and for Neshaminy, it could very likely set up a monstrous matchup with Penridge next week. Penridge, the other 2-0 team in the SOL National. Darrow sends it away. The second half will begin with Nick Sassano and a fair catch and a touchback as that ball was received with his heels on the blue paint of that end zone. And Neshaminy will begin this drive from their own 20. Gotta believe it's going to be another heavy dose of Carter Klee here in the second half, Rob. Went to him early, went to him often. Carter Klee had himself a nice first half on the ground and through the air. Michael Eckert, a couple of big plays to pad the stats. He was able to carry the ball forward for some nice runs in that first half as well. Skins on top by 10, third quarter. First play from scrimmage, and it is a handoff to Carter Klee over the outside and then dragged down after a short gain. That was Jeff Kappa, the senior defensive tackle, there to ride him to the ground.
And to your point, Jordan, it's a 10-point lead right now, and obviously at this point in the game, you don't want to get conservative. At the same time, you can afford to, keep the ball on the ground, keep that clock running, and play the clock as much as you can.
Yeah, Neshaminy would like nothing better than to really impose their will on the ground, but they're going to the air here. Eckert ducks underneath one would-be sack. Now he's going to try to take off, eludes a tackle. He's got the first down. Michael Eckert turning nothing into something as he carries it forward for the first down all the way to the 42-yard line. Michael Eckert dashes ahead, and he's got 19 on that run.
It's garbage into gold for Michael Eckert. And a good job getting pressure by the West defense, but they lost containment. Eckert taking advantage.
First and 10 from their own 42. Into the chest of Carter Klee goes the football. And he's got maybe a yard on first down. They'll give him 2. They'll give him the 44. In fact, the official puts it down right around the 45-yard line, as Zach Sabo was the one to get him down. It's a gain of 3 yards for Carter Klee. Second down and 7. Back to the ground, this time with the legs of Michael Eckert, making one man miss and then stiff-arming Darrows. Ridden out of bounds, shy of the 50.
Michael Eckert with the run.
Interesting to see Mark Ilkovic in there on offense, as Neshaminy going with a bit of a jumbo package on that last second down. Now third down and 5. They need the opposite 48. They're on their own 47. Lucas Stewart back from injury. He's in the game, lined up in the tight end spot. Eckert to the air, has some time, zips it over the middle, incomplete. Pass low in the direction of David Liberty. Mason Darrows was the one in coverage. And gotta believe we'll see the punting unit here. We will.
I'm sorry, Jordan, didn't mean to interrupt you there. Liberty looked like he had a step, just a little bit underthrown.
For this punt. Don't forget, if you miss any of today's action, you can read all about it in tomorrow's edition of the Trentonian. For your complete local and national news 7 days a week, it's the Trentonian or online at Trentonian.com. The only newspaper serving Bucks, Burlington, and Mercer County 7 days a week, it's the Trentonian. Tristan Rivera to send it away to Louis Sapalo, who's back at his own 21. And it's a booming punt. It'll be fielded at the 21 by Sapalo. He starts up. He's a dangerous return man, but he's taken to the ground at the 35. That's really the first time we've seen Neshaminy's punt coverage come up with a big play. And this drive will begin 65 yards out for Louis Sapalo and CB West. So the Bucks defense does what they needed to do. They forced the punt on the first drive of this second half. And now the offense will go to work, trailing by 10. Bucks were gaining some momentum there towards the end of the second quarter, and it got thwarted on that touchdown by Carter Klee that put Neshaminy back up by 2 scores. We've seen Sapalo use his arm and his legs to create big plays for the Bucks. 1st and 10, play action, quick throw, and that's Jack Wilson. He gets taken down. Tristan Rivera, Dan McGarity were there. Rivera with the initial contact. And again, the Bucks are going to find themselves behind the sticks on 2nd down.
The Neshaminy defense has come up with a number of big plays in tonight's game, holding a potent Bucks offense at bay really so far in this one, although still plenty of time to go.
Give credit to these Neshaminy defensive backs keeping Owen Pudlow in check as well, one of the main deep ball threats for CB West. Haven't called his name at all. He's not out there for the 2nd down here. Sapalo looking right, throwing that way. Jack Wilson with the catch, and he's spun out of bounds over on his sideline by Dan McGarity. Nice gain there on 2nd down and long. Sets up 3rd and more manageable from the 41-yard line. 3rd and 5.
Jack Wilson has had a nice game for the Bucks offense.
Yeah, Wilson's really been Sapalo's favorite target when he's gone to the air attack. Made a heck of a catch over the top of Mike Sassano earlier in this game on a 50-50 ball. Third and 5. This time it's a handoff to Wilson. Slithers through the defense and gets bottled up, but the pile continues to be pushed. And I think that extra shove at the end is what's going to give CB West the first. Maybe not. No, they're going to say mark him about a yard short at the 45. And now decision time for head coach Rob Rowan.
I think you've got to go for it at this juncture. You need a score to get back into this football game. Yes, there is a lot of time left, but this is a big drive, and it would be huge for them to be able to go down and put some points on the board, cut into this deficit.
CB West going for it. Jack Wilson comes off for this 4th down play. Probably a pretty good indicator it's a run. 4th and a yard. And Sapalo got the defense to jump. Dan McGarity came over the line. At least I think it's against Neshaminy. Both teams kind of backing up, and now they're going to say offsides. McGarity was the one who crossed into the neutral zone. And after all that, CB West doesn't even have to run the play. They'll have a 1st down from midfield.
Another big penalty. It's kind of been a theme throughout the course of this game.
Yeah, this time Neshaminy on the lesser end. First and 10, pistol formation. Sapalo will hand it off to Nick Mileto, who tried to make a jump cut. and gets taken down by Carson Schneider again, who's been all over the place on defense, calling out Schneider's name a lot.
Yeah, and that's not just tonight. That's been the whole season. He's been the leader, really the MVP of this defense.
The stop was by Owen Schwartz.
Owen Schwartz also in there. He's had a great season as well among their sack leaders. He's been a stalwart for them on the defensive line.
Second and 7 for CB West. They'll overload that left side and throw it that way, and it's dropped. And probably a good thing it was dropped by Mileto, because Dan McGarity would have been there with a tackle for loss.
It was actually very close to being a backwards pass as well, in which case it would have been a fumble.
Tristan Rivera and Dan McGarity.
And now third down and 7. And now if you're the Neshaminy defense, I mean, first things first, don't jump here. But a chance to get off the field. CB West still probably about 20 yards away, maybe 30 from field goal range. Backup quarterback comes into the game, and it's Josh George, and his first pass of the day falls incomplete. And a drive that was extended by the offsides penalty fizzles on the following series. CB West will have to punt it away to Nick Sassano.
Chance now for Neshaminy to get another drive and eat some more time off of that clock.
We've got 7:22 left in this third quarter. Skins nursing a 10-point advantage. Some movement, but it was all legal. Darrows sends it away. It's high and it's angled towards the far sideline, and it's going to roll into the end zone. And this drive will begin from the Skins 20. I'll let you know that PIAA District 1 is looking for officials for all sports. If you're interested, visit PIAA.org for more information. Again, that's PIAA.org if you're interested in becoming an official. PIAA District 1 wishes all student athletes the best of luck on the field and in the classroom. And for fine food and fun for the entire family, visit the Irish Rover Station House at 1033 South Bellevue Avenue in Langhorne. Open Tuesday through Sunday, the place to go for the best eats and Philly sports action as well. 1033 South Bellevue Avenue, across from the SEPTA train station in Langhorne.
Can attest to that great food that I've been there numerous times. It's one of my favorite spots.
Eckert quick throw. There's Lucas Stewart for the second time. And Stewart's got a decent gain on first down to the 27-yard line. Give him 7. Got a favorite menu item over there at Irish Rover, Rob?
Honestly, there's so many I can't pick one.
The political answer. I like it. Second and 7. They fake the give to Klee. Eckert takes it himself, and he runs into a wall of white and yellow. Powered forward from maybe a yard. It'll bring up third down and 2 for this Neshaminy offense.
Nick Mileto picking up the tackle on the play for CB West.
Neshaminy offense that's now punted on 3 of their last 4 drives since the 83-yard strike to Lagler. Eckert dashes ahead. He's got a first down. He's got more than that. Michael Eckert putting it into second gear, racing down the sideline, and he will break it for the touchdown. Big play, score after big play, score. Neshaminy running it up, and it's 27-11. And how about that? 72 yards to pay dirt.
Unbelievable. The big play strikes again for Neshaminy. First, the 83-yard touchdown pass, and now a 72-yard score on a QB keeper. And they're an extra point away from making it a 3-score game.
Eckert just hit a whole nother gear that time. As the extra point by Steven Busik's up and good, it's 28-11. I mean, talk about turning on the Jets, right? He had about 2 or 3 guys to beat once he got around the edge, and he just left them all in the dust.
I think people underestimate how quick he is, how fast he is. Being a quarterback, you don't really expect that, but he's got some wheels on him, and he put it on full display on that touchdown run.
2 rushing touchdowns, 2 passing touchdowns now for Eckert in this game. And so for the season, he's now up to 17 through the air and another 5 on the ground. I mean, 22 total touchdowns. We're not even through the 6th game of the year yet. And in a game that everybody expected was going to be so close all the way throughout, and obviously still a lot of time left, 6:03 of play in this 3rd quarter, Neshaminy, they basically dictated everything.
Yeah, they've been really impressive tonight. They came in ranked number 72 in the state, and Central Bucks West came in ranked number 32 in the state. And this has been, so far, a statement game for the Skins.
Really, ever since Neshaminy lost to Cheltenham week 3 in their home opener, seems like they've just been playing at a whole nother level, not wanting something like that to happen again. This is Nick Mileto bouncing off of a couple of would-be tacklers, but not much more after that. He's shy of the 30. And so now how does CB West respond? They went down 14-0 after less than 8 minutes in this game, came back out and scored 11 straight points. But a team not really used to playing from behind. It's really only been the 2 games for them this season. Their opener against Easton area, where they put together a 4th quarter comeback, trailed 19-0 in that game, ended up losing 26-20. And then last week, trailed 21-10 against CB South, scored a pair of touchdowns late and won the game. But other than those 2, they've been front runners this year, and it's an offense that's built to play from ahead for sure with the ground and pound mentality. Sapalo takes a snap, jet sweep to Jack Wilson, breaks 1 tackle, looks to reverse fields, and not much doing after that. Takes it to the 30 for a gain of 3, and then ridden back by a wall of red. Carson Schneider again was the main man in on that tackle. Schneider just in hot pursuit. Whenever he sees a white jersey with the football, he's typically the first guy there to meet him.
He has been that guy all night for them, has had a really, really impressive game. On the biggest stage, too, against the toughest opponent that Neshaminy has faced yet.
2nd and 7, handoff, and that's Nick Mileto. Ooh, if he was able to break that, there was a lot of turf in front of him and potentially a touchdown-saving tackle by Tristan Rivera.
That was a touchdown-saving tackle right there. He had yards and yards of nothing but green ahead of him. Central Bucks West just hasn't been able to get that big play on offense. They just about had it right there.
It goes for a gain of 5 nonetheless, so 3rd down and 1. Both teams shift the line. On 3rd and 1, Sapalo powers ahead for the 1st down. He just put his head in the ground and wasn't going to stop until he crossed the line to gain. Louis Sapalo moves the sticks, 1st and 10, CB West.
Picking up a Bucks 1st down.
So Rob Rowan not going away from his game plan coming into this game, despite trailing 17 here by 17 here in the 3rd quarter. Just continuing to go to the ground game. And if you're Neshaminy, you'll make CB West try to drive this ball methodically down the field and hope they chew up clock in the process. Clock ticking at 3:54 in the 3rd. Wilson goes in motion. He gets the football on the jet sweep. And again, he's got a short gain on 1st down. That's what Neshaminy wants them to do. They'll give up the short gains as long as nobody gets into the secondary. Got to believe Nick Felix is going to be all right with the way his defense has been playing.
Yeah, absolutely. They haven't given up any big plays, and with this ground and pound style that West runs, it's going to be tough for them to come back from the 3-score deficit as we near the end of the 3rd quarter, losing down within the final 3.5 minutes. West is going to need a big play at some point offensively if they want to have a chance in this one.
This is 2nd and a long 6. Handoff to Mileto. Breaks a couple of tackles. And again, it'll be 3rd down and 1 as Carson Schneider. That's a tough guy to have a tackle broken, right?
Yes.
Carson Schneider is a guy typically, he's going to make the hit, and he's going to get the guy to the ground. And now Mileto stays down. And while they tend to him, we'll step aside. Neshaminy on top by 17, late stages 3rd quarter from Heartbreak Ridge.
This is Tommy Green from the 1993 National League champion Phillies. Every champion needs a good game plan. BCWSA and I want to make sure you have a game plan when it comes to conserving our most precious resource, water. Whether you're washing dishes, brushing your teeth, or watering your garden, there are ways you can save water and save money. Visit bcwsa.net for tips on conserving water. BCWSA, proven.
Hi, I'm Sheriff Fred Herron. As your Bucks County Sheriff, it's my job to uphold the law and keep our community safe. That's what I've done every day for nearly 40 years in law enforcement. From the streets of Bensalem to the county courthouse, my focus has been on making our families feel secure in their homes, neighborhoods, and our schools. Safety requires proven leadership because in this office, experience is everything. This November, vote for our team so we can continue providing dependable leadership for our community. I'm your Sheriff, Fred Herron, and I approve this message.
Proceeding paid for by Herron for Sheriff.
Back here from Heartbreak Ridge, not what you want to see, as Nick Mileto had to be helped off the field after that 2nd down run. We'll keep an eye on that. That would be a big loss. The backup running back is Gavin Todd. He's in the game for 3rd and a half a yard. And Sapalo's going to follow him as he slithers his way through for a 1st down, and you can forget it. He's going to have the touchdown on top. Louis Sapalo with a perfect response to Michael Eckert's 72-yard touchdown run. He takes it 48 yards himself, and the deficit is back down to 12.
Well, Jordan, there's that big play that we just talked about that had been eluding West so far tonight. They finally got one.
I should say deficit back down to 11. 28-17 is your score. And now Mason Darrow's out to add the extra point. Good snap, good hold, and the kick is good as well. So 28-18, and one play after CB West's top running back, Nick Mileto, goes down. Louis Sapalo says, you know what, I'll just do this myself, and that's his 2nd rushing touchdown of the game. That's the one thing that Neshaminy didn't want to allow. They were okay with letting CB West just kind of dink and dunk 4 or 5 yard runs. But they allow the big one, the 48-yard TD run by Sapalo. And now the Skins offense gets it back, still on top by 10, but CB West very much alive in this game.
Yeah, it's a big play for them to be able to score quickly there. Still plenty of time left. And now Neshaminy, we'll see how they respond. If they're able to get those points back.
Those of you Phillies fans out there, you're probably pretty pleased with the night Aaron Nola put up. If you're not watching the game and instead tuned in here, first of all, we appreciate your support. We want to let you know that Aaron Nola went 8 innings tonight, Rob.
Very impressive, and that's great to see going into the postseason. And also, if you are a Mets hater like me, they're now down 6-2 against Miami.
There you go. All good news around the baseball world. Back here to the local gridiron, Mason Darrow sends the kickoff away. It's another good one. It's going to be the 3rd touchback of this game. Always big when you've got a kicker with the leg like Darrow's, because first of all, we've seen him in the field goal game. He drilled one from 36. But if you're able to keep sending these touchbacks back, forces Neshaminy to start their drives from their own 20. Very tough task for an offense to consistently march the ball down the field at this level. starting back at their own 20 after some of these touchbacks.
That's such a big advantage, especially at the high school level, to have a kicker you can trust in those situations, A, to get the touchbacks, and B, to come in and kick the long field goals. We might find ourselves in a situation where that's needed later in the game.
First and 10, it's Klee, and he gets shot down. And it was Owen Pudlow who was slow to get up after making that hit. It's a heck of a tackle as he just basically took out the legs of Klee. Did it legally. It's a loss of a yard, so 2nd down and 11 for Neshaminy. Eckert, quick throw, pass caught. Mike Sassano makes that inside move and eludes one man. And he's got the first down. Tackled that time by Jimmy Cooker, the sophomore. Nice move by Mike Sassano that time. Realized he had inside leverage. Put his foot in the ground and made that 180-degree spin move. And now again, Mark Ilkovic back into the game on offense. Perhaps signaling we're going to get a first down run called here. 1st and 10 from Neshaminy's own 32. 1:15 to go, 3rd quarter. Eckert will get into the 2nd level, and then got tripped up at the 39.
Almost broke that one there, too. He's taken down by a shoestring tackle.
This is what Neshaminy's done more of since the Cheltenham game. That's go to the hurry-up. And they went a little too quick here. We're going to get a false start.
And last week they're in the hurry-up offense just about the entire first half until the game was out of reach against Abington.
Yeah, essentially just ran Abington right out of their own building in that game. 5 touchdowns in the first half from 22 yards, 23, 25, 17, and 59. That 59-yard touchdown coming on the 4th play from scrimmage to Brock Williams. Brock Williams only has 1 catch today. Now, he was on the benefiting end of a pass interference call earlier in this one. And right as I say that, Eckert fires in the direction of Williams, or no, that's David Liberty, in fact.
David Liberty with the catch.
Williams not out there for this play. He's right now standing on the sideline. He's got his helmet on, doesn't look hurt. 3rd and 4 for Neshaminy.
See if we go with a hard count with the clock winding down.
Clock's at 7 seconds. The Skins do not have to run this play. And time will run out on quarter number 3. Neshaminy with the ball, leading 28-18. 36 minutes down, just 12 to go here in Langhorne. 4th quarter of action after this on WBCB.
Your day-to-day life is hectic between having to pick up the kids, make dinner, the countless other tasks that you got to get done. Rob's Automotive and Collision is there to make your life a whole lot easier. Make sure you take advantage of their spacious waiting rooms, the large flat-screen TVs, complimentary coffee and muffins, and free Wi-Fi. So even when you do have to stop, Rob's is there to make you feel right at home. Give Rob's a call today at 215-826-9200 for any of your auto repair needs.
PIAA District 1 is looking for officials for all sports. If you're interested, visit PIAA.org for more information. Again, that's PIAA.org. For fine food and fun for the entire family, visit the Irish Rover Station House, 1033 South Bellevue Avenue in Langhorne. Open Tuesday through Sunday for lunch and dinner. Watch Philly sports, get some good eats over there at the Irish Rover Station House, 1033 South Bellevue Avenue, across from the SEPTA train station in Langhorne. Neshaminy on top, 28-18. We begin the 4th quarter from Heartbreak Ridge. Winner of this game remains in 1st place in the Suburban 1 League National Division. Neshaminy looking to exercise some demons against CB West. They've lost 4 straight to the Bucks. Haven't beat them since 2020. On 3rd down and 4, Eckert follows the blockers and has enough for the first. That's what we talked about at halftime, right, Rob? Neshaminy probably wanting to really establish themselves on the ground here in the 2nd half, nurse this lead. It's exactly what they've done. They keep the clock moving here to begin the fourth.
That's a big play to start what is the biggest quarter so far of the season.
Back into the hurry up, 1st and 10 from the 43. This time, Eckert will fire, pass complete. Lucas Stewart ridden backwards by Shane McGuire. So that time they go to the air on 1st down. And we've seen Lucas Stewart now get involved a few times on these short passing plays. And that was the first one that goes backwards.
Yeah, it's just a good play by McGuire to get to him in the backfield. Good tackle there.
So here's 2nd down and 12 for Neshaminy. Eckert, first read wasn't there. Now going deep for Bobby Lagler again, but it falls at his feet. Lagler wanted a flag. That was good coverage, though, by Mason Darrows. We've seen Eckert and Lagler hook up once on the deep ball in this one. And now another player down for CB West. And so before this 3rd and 12 play, we'll send it to break. Skins on top 28-18 here early in the 4th.
Winter weather is near, and 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning of Bucks County will make sure your home is ready for any harsh winter conditions. Whether it's heater replacement, repair, boilers, or furnaces, their top-notch service will make sure you'll never be left out in the cold with 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning of Bucks County. Call them today, 267-606-1622. That's 267-606-1622 for 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning of Bucks County. Your trusted heating and cooling expert in Bucks County for over 30 years. 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning, 267-606-1622.
It appeared to just be a case of cramping that time for Nick Mileto, who was back into the game. He was hurt earlier. He's getting massaged over on that CB West sideline. 3rd and 12 for Neshaminy. Bucks stack the box. Eckert drops back. Blitz picked up, fires over the middle, incomplete. Oh, Mike Sassano had a whole lot of green turf to work with, but the throw was just a bit out of his reach. And by the skin of their teeth, the Central Bucks West defense holds. And they'll get the ball back now, early in the 4th, trailing by 10.
It's a break for the Bucks. Don't see Eckert miss throws like that very often.
Yeah, that's one that you know Eckert wants back. If he hits Sassano in stride, we're probably talking about another big play touchdown. Rivera on to punt. It's high. Fair catch called for by Luis Apollo. And he makes the grab and then somersaults backwards. Tristan Rivera continuing to flex that big leg in the punting game. And so now CB West trailing 28-18 with 10:38 to play. This drive will begin from their own 24-yard line. And down by 17 last drive, they went run, run, run. And you got to believe, Rob, it's going to be a similar game plan this time around.
I would imagine so, especially since that's been their bread and butter all season.
1st and 10, high snap. Apollo's got it, gets out of the reach of Owen Schwartz, and then just slides down around the 30. That was very dangerous and could have been loads of trouble. Nice catch by Sapalo on the snap, and then a nice job to get away from Schwartz that time. And took it for a gain of 7 when it was all said and done. Brings up 2nd down and 3. CB West looking to pull off back-to-back come-from-behind victories. Back-to-back come-from-behind victories after trailing by multiple scores in the 2nd half. 2nd down, the handoff goes to Gavin Todd, and he's stacked up. Maybe a yard that time for Todd. Gonna bring up 3rd down and short. This is what CB West has been doing all game. now that they've been able to figure out the pre-snap penalty issue, they've been running the ball from ahead of the sticks for the most part here in the second half. Well, Todd splits out wide to the top of your screen. Sapalo's all by himself in the backfield for 3rd and 3. Pudlow, the motion man. Sapalo takes the football. He charges ahead. He keeps the legs moving. And as a result, he has enough for the first down. Carson Schneider, who's been so good today, frustrated with himself that he couldn't get Sapalo down on initial contact. And now a bit of a development. Louis Sapalo hobbled off after that play. Backup quarterback Josh George into the game.
George did come in earlier for a play, so hopefully this is just a one-off thing for Sapalo.
Well, now the starting quarterback and starting running back are over on the sideline. 1st and 10, George looks to the air, zips it far side, and it's dropped. Right through the hands of Lucas Benscotter, who was wide open. Just couldn't bring that one down, and he's going to be seeing that one when he tries to go to sleep tonight.
That's a big one right there, because we're talking the difference between maybe 2nd and 3, 2nd and 4, as opposed to 2nd and 10. And at this juncture in the game, really every yard matters, especially for Central Bucks West.
8:24 to play. 2nd and 10. George hands it off. Owen Pudlow on the jet sweep. Can he get the edge? He instead splits through the defense and has about 7. Another 3rd and short. We're seeing a lot of 3rd downs now for CB West, but it's a lot easier to convert when it's 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3 compared to, say, 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9, which is what they were in oftentimes in the first half.
Yeah, Pudlow showing some elusiveness on that run, able to escape about 2 or 3 different tacklers before finally being taken down.
3rd and 2, Skins defense looking for a much-needed stop. George in the pistol. Rolls right, across his body throw, and it's caught and then dropped. Oh man, Tristan Rivera with a big-time hit. Owen Pudlow had the football, and the next thing he knew, Rivera was driving into him.
See, this Neshaminy defense has brought the physicality so far tonight. This is a big 4th down.
4th and 2, and we'll see what CB West does. They're leaving the offense on the field. Well, a stop here for Neshaminy could go a long way in securing their 3rd straight win. About 7.5 to go. 4th and 2, Sapalo back in the game. Rolls, scans, takes off. He has the first before he gets flipped by Mike Sassano. Louis Sapalo keeps this game alive for Central Bucks West.
That's a big one right there, because that was effectively 4th in the game. West staying alive. And as we saw last week, we didn't see, but as they did last week with the comeback against Central Bucks South, this is a team that is very hard to put away.
1st and 10, Sapalo throws, and that one's complete for the first down. Jack Wilson with the catch. And now after that 4th down, CB West quickly moves the chains, and they're in to Neshaminy territory. And if you're Neshaminy, the goal just has to continue to be, don't allow anything over the top right now. The running clock is your friend. It's down to 6.5 to play. 1st and 10, back to the air. Sapalo just flips it, wide open receiver, and it's off his mitts. Liam Laffin, one of the captains on this team, used primarily on defense, and maybe you see why right there.
Yeah, it's one that needs to be caught.
Well, now we've seen both teams with a couple of bad drops. This one sets up 2nd down and 10 for CB West from Neshaminy's 41-yard line.
2nd down and 10. Go defense!
Sapalo again rolls, and he's got pressure, and he is sacked. Dan McGarity coming up from the safety spot, dropping Sapalo in the backfield and bringing up 3rd and long.
The safety blitz pays off big time. McGarity, a great play to bring down the quarterback in the backfield.
Well, CB West has proven on this drive that this is 4-down territory. 3rd and 14, it's a loss of 4 on the sack. Back now to the Neshaminy 45. Sapalo, they set up the screen, this time with Gavin Todd as a flag flies. Todd gets dropped by Owen Schwartz along the sideline.
There is a flag on the play.
We've seen the amount of flags come way down here in the second half compared to the first. But this one looks like it's going to go against Central Bucks West, and it's just another flag in a bad spot. And that time they get the right tackle, Eli McGuire. And now it's 3rd and forever, and just another case of CB West shooting themselves in the foot with an ill-timed penalty.
Yeah, it's been a theme for them. They cleaned it up a good bit in the second half, but the first half really put themselves behind the 8 ball with all the bad penalties. Most of them pre-snap penalties, so not a whole lot in terms of holding calls or things of that nature. This a holding call, and it's a big one.
Clock inside of 5:20. This is 3rd and 24. George, the quarterback, has it again go off the hands of a receiver. That was Jeff Kappa with the drop, and now it's 4th and 24. You got to believe the offense has to stay out there, right? I mean, you're down to about 5 minutes to go. Well, although it appears the punting unit is going to be coming onto the field.
Yeah, really interesting call here in a 2-score game. And really can't afford to have a possession where you don't score at this point.
Especially the way Neshaminy's offense has gone here out of halftime, where they've been taking a lot of time off the clock with some of these just, drives that have been sustained with a lot of good runs. Darrow sends it away. Sassano lets it fly over his head. It takes a CB West roll. This is a great punt inside the 5. And now maybe if you're the Bucks, you're thinking safety. Let's see how aggressive this defensive line gets. Safety would make it a 1-score game.
If you're Neshaminy, that's something that you need to keep an eye on. They're going to be very aggressive on defense.
Neshaminy's done a nice job in their run game. Carter Klee, Michael Eckert, just not taking losses, really not just tonight, but the whole season. We'll see if they just try to power it ahead, get out of the shadow of their own field goal post right here.
Won't be surprised if they try to counter potential aggressiveness from West with the screen pass here.
This drive begins from the 3. And it begins with a quarterback run, and Eckert just barely gets out of that red paint. He lost a couple of yards. Save was dropped back at the 2, so 2nd down and a long 11. Maybe that was a bit of a case of the announcer jinx right there. I say Neshaminy's done a great job moving the ball forward on the ground, and they go backwards.
The old announcer's jinx strikes at least once every game.
Second down, Skins selecting to let some time come off the clock. Play clock is at 10. Play clock down to 4. Eckert hands it off, Carter Klee, and that's a nice looking gain on 2nd down. And it at least probably takes the safety out of the realm of possibilities. And it brings up 3rd down and 7.
Yeah, at that point, you just want to get some breathing room. That's exactly what Carter Klee provided with that little run.
Neshaminy's able to pick up a first down here. CB West is going to have to start using timeouts. Both teams have all 3 left. Neshaminy letting that clock tick. It's down to 3:30. Third and 7, they play it safe. Carter Klee makes a cut move and then gets stood up. Big time hit by Nick Mileto. And that's a gain of 3. It'll bring up 4th down. And CB West, at least for now, letting the clock run, and now we're going to get that whistle. And a timeout called with 3:04 to go. We'll step aside. Neshaminy to punt when we come back.
Don't let joint pain bring you down. See how you can get relief at a free joint pain seminar at St. Mary Orthopedics. Joint care experts will inform and answer questions about diagnosing, managing, and treating joint problems and knowing when it's time for a joint replacement. Ready to get back to life? Get to the next free joint pain seminar. Details at stmaryhealthcare.org/joint seminar. It's your health. Expect more.
Back from Heartbreak Ridge, Neshaminy on top, 28-18, 3:04 to play. A couple of evenly matched teams, Neshaminy and CB West, at least coming into this game. So far through the first 45 minutes of this one, CB West has had their moments, but it's been Neshaminy controlling the pace of play and really just showing themselves as the better squad right now. The punt from Tristan Rivera is taken in by Sapalo, who breaks the tackle of Dan McGarity. Now he's got space. Louis Sapalo inside the 20. Special teams, if CB West is able to come back and win this game, that will be the area that we will look at as what really helped propel them to the comeback, because it seems like they're getting great starting field position. I'd say like 75% of their drives. Louis Sapalo's had a great game in the punt return game.
Yeah, he really has, and that's huge to start off in the red zone. West still very much alive in this football game.
This drive begins at the 17 of Neshaminy, so CB West already in the red zone. Not a lot of time to work with, 2:49. The full quiver of timeouts. This time Sapalo will use his legs, looking to beat McGarity to the edge, and McGarity did a nice job to slow him down. And then Mike Sassano and Nick Sassano come in to finish it off. That ends up going for a loss of 1. Louis Sapalo will check out for this play. Little interesting, CB West still going back into their huddle. Precious seconds coming off the clock. Josh George, alone in the backfield, takes a snap, fires over the middle, it's dropped again. Nick Mileto had a touchdown in his fingertips right there and just couldn't bring it down.
Yeah, another one off the hands of the receiver. It's a few times it's happened tonight for West. And that's a big one because that would have pulled them within one possession with still over 2 minutes to go.
And again, maybe George would have liked the throw to be a little lower, but in this spot, in this game, if you're Nick Mileto, you gotta haul that one in. 3rd and long, crowd making some noise. George, eyes on the end zone, throws an interception. It's Carson Schneider for the 2nd consecutive game.
Who else?
He's had himself a big night, and it just got a whole lot bigger as Carson Schneider's interception might just be the nail in the coffin as Neshaminy looks well on their way to a 3-0 start in divisional play, a 5-1 start overall, and their first win against CB West since 2020. And if you're Carson Schneider, might have just earned himself an interview as our player of the game.
Whenever that defense has needed a big play, he has been the man to make it numerous occasions tonight.
Second interception of the season for Schneider, second in as many weeks. Eckert powers ahead over the right side of that big offensive line. Out to the 34. Clock ticking at 1:39. Doesn't look like Central Bucks West is going to use their remaining 2 timeouts. And how about Neshaminy's last 2 home games now? 18-14 win over North Penn, a team they beat just once in the last 12 years. And now looking like they're going to get a 10-point victory over Central Bucks West, a team that came into this game ahead of them in the power rankings in Bucks County. Klee takes the handoff and dives ahead for a gain of 4. The season started off so special, with Neshaminy outscoring their opponents 71-0 in the first 2 games of the year, including a 30-0 win on the road against Emmaus, a team that was ranked by some in the top 10 in the state. Skins return home, lots of confidence. Nick Felis' first game here at the Ridge. We've got a timeout called before this 3rd down play. But the Skins get punched in the mouth against Cheltenham, come out with a big win and respond against North Penn. Take it to Abington in a game that they just went full throttle, at least for the first half, then were able to back off in the second. And now they come in and literally from the first play in this game, the fumble on the opening kickoff, Neshaminy just outplayed CB West.
Yeah, this Neshaminy team's a well-oiled machine right now. They're firing on all cylinders. This is going to be a team to be reckoned with for the rest of the season, especially come playoff time.
And if you listen to Nick Felis and company, Michael Eckert, another one of those guys constantly interviewed, you could tell the tone has really changed after the Cheltenham game. This one goes for no gain. But the 2 of those guys who get the lion's share of the media availability, whenever they get the opportunity to bring up practice and their practice habits, they do it, whether it's in a post-game interview or a coach's roundtable discussion, like Nick Felis gets to sit down with Chris Irmer every Wednesday, and whenever Chris asks him about the upcoming game, first thing that is always coming out of Nick Felis' mouth is just the emphasis on practice. And he talked about it this week in the coach's roundtable, that you practice how you play. Neshaminy instilling some really good practice habits, you can tell, because they're prepared each and every Friday night.
Yeah, and then when it comes to game time, you know, practice is a case of iron sharpening iron. You got a great offense going up against a great defense, and they're making each other better every time they go at it in practice, and then you see it pay off in a game like this.
On 4th down, Tristan Rivera is going to send this one away. And how about Neshaminy? They're going to have all kinds of momentum going into a huge matchup with Penridge next week here at home. Penridge was taking on Abington today, as this one is nearly blocked. Rivera lucky to get that away, and it's out of bounds. It ends up being a real nice kick. But assuming Penridge handles business against Abington, they're going to come in here at 6-0, Neshaminy at 5-1. Penridge, the surprise team in the National Division this year. And a game with all sorts of not just playoff implications, obviously, but I mean, Penridge looking to continue their undefeated season. Both of the teams would be looking to stay undefeated in SOL National Division play. And first place very well could be decided right here at Heartbreak Ridge next week.
Yeah, it should be a really interesting game. Penridge plays a little bit of a different style. They're more of a punch you in the mouth, like grind it out and rely on defense type of team, and that's been very successful for them.
1st and 10, Sapalo just going to send it down the field, that time in the direction of Mason Darrows, but he had no chance. And now 2nd down. And for CB West, give them credit tonight, right? They fall down 14-0 after the first 8 minutes of this game. And they just kept on fighting. Got it to 14-11. Skins went back on top by 17. CB West comes out with the 48-yard touchdown run by Luis Sapalo. Cut the deficit to 10, got the ball back a couple of times. But the Neshaminy defense just owning the night. And Carson Schneider, who's going to be our player of the game, with what is going to end up being the game-sealing interception. This catch is brought in by Ashton Stass for the second time tonight. CB West hurries to the line. Just 31 seconds to go. CB West out of timeouts. Josh George back in the game at quarterback. Quick throw here, pass caught. Jack Wilson trying to get out of bounds, and he can't. Great tackle by Tristan Rivera. It'll keep the clock running now. It stopped for a moment after the first down. Down to just 15 seconds to play, and George will spike it. But Carson Schneider, he's going to be our player of the game. You can find that interview shortly following the conclusion of this broadcast on our YouTube Shorts page at WBCB Sports and on Instagram at WBCB_SN. Certainly going to have to ask Schneider about now back-to-back games with a pick, right? Had nothing coming into the game against Abington last week. He was already, the team's leading tackler, but now starting to mix it up in the turnover game as well. Schneider making himself into a very good candidate to be all SOL this year. 2nd and 10, George to the air, fires, and it's dropped. Man, there were two receivers that were wide open. And just another bad second half drop. Jack Wilson was the intended target. And now we've got just 10 seconds left.
Yeah, it's been at least 3 or 4 of them drops by West receivers. Not like that one would have made much of a difference, but on the previous drive they had what would have been a touchdown pass that was dropped in the end zone.
Third and 10. Schwartz has pressure, and that's a game-sealing sack. Owen Schwartz off the edge. He was unblocked. And when he's ever unblocked, that's going to be the result. And the result tonight, final score, Neshaminy 28, CB West 18. The Skins remain undefeated in SOL National Division play, improved to 5-1 overall, and set up a monstrous meeting with Penn Ridge here at home on Senior Day next week. Neshaminy with a game in which they controlled basically from the start, led the entire way through. They win it by 10. We thank our sponsors one more time, Team Toyota, the St. Mary Medical Center, the Revere Restaurant, Jennifer Shorn for DA, 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning, Rob's Automotive and Collision, BCWSA, Fred Herron for Sheriff, the N Club, Sandy's Beef and Ale, Kent's Tree Services, the Trentonian, the Irish Rover Station House, and PIAA District 1. Neshaminy gets the win 28-18. One final time for the entire crew, from our broadcast partner Rob Gilmore, who also did the camera work tonight, and for Aaron Bennett, who produced today's stream. My name's Jordan Hirsch, saying thank you for watching, and have a great night, everybody.